All right, everybody pretend like there's music. Big pops in the chat, as always. Do 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 do. Hi, welcome to the show. No, ruined.
I don't know what you were talking about. The music not working there, Eads. It seemed like it worked perfectly.
I was leading myself. I've listened to that music at least. Well, it's on the front and end of every episode, so 626 times as of right now. It's Andrew Captain that you hear on the Talking Reckless podcast.
Heyo!
Warren Barris is here as well.
I can respect a man who says pretend there's music and then proceeds to sing said music anyways.
And the one who ruined it all, Brandon Lynch.
Well, I thought we were supposed to pretend it was music, which meant I would have been like humming along or something. But...
Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. I always, you know me. I don't hum. I doot. I doot.
Doot.
Welcome to the show, Talking Reckless 313. Remotes. We need some kind of a like like we do Talking Reckless EX when we have people from not the show on the show. We need like a re-recorded at home Talking Reckless guide. No. Hyper
Champion Edition.
Champion Edition. Okay. I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Thinking of video game things.
Yeah. What's the new Nier remake? Let's use that.
I can't. No. That's too many.
Hang on. Let's see. Nier Replicant.
Reckless.
Sorry. Yeah. So we would be Talking Reckless version 1. Okay, I gotta do this fast. Talking Reckless version 1.224744871139. Apparently.
It rolls off the tongue.
Really? Just, yeah. When you go into EB Games and have to ask them for that new Nier game, and they say, do you mean Automata? And you say, no, I mean Replicant version 1.224744871139.
Like looking at the inside of your arm. Like the numbers that you wrote down.
Oh, welcome to the show. That's the real title for the new... Well, not new. For the remaster of the first Nier game. Gentlemen. Some real Kingdom Hearts shit here. Some real 397,000 days over
2.
Bad game 2.
It's a good game.
That
game is bad. That game is bad.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. Hope everybody
in the middle.
I refuse. I'm way over. I can't. They're all bad. They're all bad.
The good ones.
No. If we were like in the studio face to face, I would, as I'm known to, come across the table and perform some physical stunt.
Welcome to Talking Reckless 2.8.
Stop it. Welcome to Talking Reckless Dream Drop Distance.
Stupid.
Thank you. Yes, it is. How's everybody's weeks in these trying times? Andrew, my friend, you made us 2 promises here on... Was it last week's show, or was it... Did we have a show without
I think
Andrew?
it was last week's show.
Yeah, okay.
No, it was last week's show.
On last week's show, you promised us 2 things. 1, that you would have a mic stand, which we can hear is a lie. Liar! 2...
Just give him the old tap on his head.
Good.
2... You told us, you told me, you looked right into you held my hands and looked deep into my eyes and said, by next week, I will have started watching Dragon Ball Z. Are you a double liar, Andrew?
So here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to tell you at the end of the podcast?
No.
Say, bury the lead a little bit?
Right
or
now.
Want me to reveal this right off the top?
Right now.
You're no fun. See, this is why I didn't get the mic stand. It's because you're no fun. I did watch Dragon Ball.
Oh! He watched!
He watched it.
He watched it.
Oh, Andy, the reason we need to know now...
500 episodes. It's the only thing I've been doing this past week.
That'd be fucked.
That'd be
I
fun.
know, I didn't do that.
Even I would even say that's too much.
I know you guys are going to say something, but I'm only 1 episode in. So it's not tremendous. I'm not deep into it yet, but here's the thing. That 1 episode, I'm in now. Like
Feet-
it's one
feet what?
episode in, but I am now in. So
Hell yeah.
it's going to be
You have
me
to see how it
consistently
ends.
watching. Yeah. Well, yes, I'm going to finish it. But
Hell
it's
of a
like,
cliffhanger on one.
yeah, I bet. I mean, even that first episode, there's a cliffhanger.
What
It's,
happens?
the classic
What
anime.
what happens?
Sorry,
What is
first
your?
of all,
Sorry, go ahead,
what
Brando.
is? Are you watching the original or Kai?
No, I'm watching Kai.
Okay.
I
So that's only like
no.
200 and some episodes, isn't it?
Yeah,
100
it's
and some?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a lot
one
shorter.
150 and then one. It's like 300. I think they're like 150 each, super and everything else.
Yeah, I think the original is 290.
Mother of God. That's too much. 290. Holy
That's a
fuck.
lot.
150 is a lot.
Yeah. There's like 60 of the Garlic Saga.
Yeah, we'll.
Skip 60 episodes.
Oh, I forgot about that. There's a couple sagas they totally cut out. We'll keep it pretty brief. I know we talk a lot about Dragon Ball on this podcast these days. Listen, it's because it's my comfort thing, you know,
Mhm.
and I'm the host, so it just naturally bleeds in where, you know, if I you can tell how stressed I was in a week based on how much I talk about Dragon Ball. Then you know how
And
much.
I'm an enabler.
Yeah, 100%. I will just at 1 a.m. I'll be watching Dragon Ball and just fucking send you a random picture sometimes, Brando. Like last night, I'm like, oh,
Yep.
look at this.
Ah, this is good.
He's wearing
I
the.
send you a meme back
Yep.
from my vault of memes.
Yeah, now I'm watching it. We can do a little recap, or not a recap, but just a little check-in every single week, see how it's going.
Yeah, I have.
What happened at the end of episode 1?
His brother, I'm assuming, showed up.
Yes.
Raditz.
Yeah, whatever that guy is. The guy who like saw that farmer and he's like, "You only have a power level of 5. This planet is full of weaklings." And I was like, yes, I would probably
Yeah.
have a power level of 2.
I mean, that's the only time that you'll ever hear about power levels in Dragon Ball. So at least you're over that hump, you know.
Yeah, I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
And
It
you're.
does, the number does eventually get too big for them to ever even reference anymore.
Yeah.
But you still got a couple seasons before that.
It's a fun journey following the power level curve.
Yeah, I don't really hate it, so it's fine. But I thought it was really funny when it's just the way he said it. Ooh, only a power level of 5.
That's good though that you're picking up on the key. You know, keep that in mind. Basic human, power level 5. You know.
And then he like flicked the bullet. That was pretty dope. I like that.
Oh, Andy, I'm so excited for you to start watching Dragon Ball.
I have started, so
Yeah, I'm glad to have brought
Continue
another in the fold.
you're excited for me to continue watching Dragon Ball. I
Yeah,
believe.
well, when I say start, I mean like listen, talk to me around the Frieza saga, kid. All right, child. Man's watched 22
been-
minutes of Dragon Ball and thinks he knows his Kamehamehas from his spirit bombs already.
Hey, my power level's at least at 400 already, so
What? No.
back off. Absolutely. It just took one
No.
episode. I'm already there.
What is like? I should look up what Vegeta is when he shows up.
I was gonna say, bring on Vegeta. I can take him on.
Let's see.
They get. I mean, we know the meme is the 9,000.
Yeah.
That's in the Vegeta saga.
I don't know. I can't see what he started at. Apparently, right now, base level Vegeta today. It's weird that it specifies today. His power level is 61,000 if he's not transformed. That doesn't seem very high. That seems fucking
Like now?
yeah. Apparently,
Today? Like today? That doesn't.
as of movie 6, maybe. Well, so they get in Super. They start to do like no. The way to really get your power level up is to like take your power level down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta hold all the
fucking
power
live.
inside.
You gotta live as a Super Saiyan.
That's right.
Live your life like a Kamehameha.
When is it that Vegeta shows up? I feel like that's the guy I want to see.
Oh, real soon.
Oh yeah.
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 Every
Sounds
That's
good,
the guy
okay,
you
cool.
want to see.
he's kind of like the season 1 antagonist.
Okay. Yeah, he seems cool.
Yeah. Oh, he's
He's
cool.
my favorite without even seeing him yet.
He's
You make sure to keep an
Mondo
eye on
cool.
his varying height compared to Goku.
in his hair.
Is he shorter?
He starts shorter, and then hits some fucking mid-40s growth.
Oh yeah, shit. Now that you've brought that up, he is like hilariously short in the beginning.
It's like he's like pecs high to Goku at the beginning, and then he's like a few inches shorter than
Yeah.
Goku at the end.
because they have like
And they don't ever bring this up. They just
No,
the,
I think
the animators just
I
increase his height.
feel like they maybe didn't know that Vegeta was going to be a big long-term part of the show, and then they were like, "This guy's comically short. Krillin's the comically short guy. We need to make this guy a regular sized human.
So that when they eye to eye, they're like actually eye to eye and not eye to Widow's Peak.
Right.
And that wraps up your Dragon Ball 5 minutes here on Talking Reckless 313. I kind of want to do. I'm just going to say this out loud right here live on this podcast.
Put it out in the universe. It'll happen.
That's right, Andy. Once you're done, I don't know. Like there's like 2 or 3 natural kind of breakpoints that I think it'd be real fun to maybe sit down and record a little like a Dragon Ball Z. What you thought of your first watching a Dragon Ball Z podcast? You know, once you're 100 episodes in or whatever.
Okie dokie.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Confirmation.
I mean, yeah, I said it out loud and you agreed. So, as per your contract, I'll hit you with the dates and things.
Sounds good.
That'd be kind of fun. Yeah.
I'll do it.
Hell yeah.
Let's call it Go On or Go Home.
Oh, I'm writing it down. We shouldn't say these names out loud.
I got a million of them, Matt. I gave you
great.
I gave you a fucking C+ for starters.
Perfect. I'm gonna. I literally. I realize now we don't have cameras on, but I did jot that one down for the old. To have a chuckle about later.
Excellent. Well, that wraps up the 7-minute Dragon Ball segment.
Mm-hmm. A quick 7 minutes. Can you believe it was only 7 minutes? It felt like about 14, but
last week it was the Dragon Ball minute, which is never a minute.
It's trying time. Excuse me. See, I'm just getting choked up just talking about it. Trying times, Andy.
I'm crying too.
I need Goku, and I need the cat who makes the beans, and
corn.
I don't really need Mr. Popo, but he I don't know. He's been. You can't judge people based on how they look when they were born. You know what I'm saying? He was born that way. That's not his fault.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do I say about Brittle all the time?
Okay, now we're just here to hurt feelings. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What about video games, Andrew? Do you enjoy video games?
Yeah, yes, I do. I have a tendency to dabble in them every now and then.
Tell me all about Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
So I won't touch that. But
you shouldn't.
Wait, and this week it seems like looking at our sheet that Brando Warren and our games are all kind of connected with what they've been playing. I've still been playing a lot of Animal Crossing, which has been just absolutely delightful. Still going strong with that game. And Warren will laugh at me when I say this. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, what's all going on with y'all in Animal Crossing? Let's turn this two-way conversation into what the French call a ménage.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's all get in here. Get right in here. The game is still going fantastic. That Easter egg event that has started up now is I'm very conflicted with it being charming, but also makes me hate it at the same point. It is I'm getting very sick of finding eggs in trees and in the ground and in the water and in the sky. There's too many friggin' eggs during this damn Easter event.
So what is when normally you would be getting like wood or iron or stone to build furniture?
Yep.
You get eggs out of these things because this horrifying rabbit monstrosity just shows up on your island.
Yeah, and see, that's the part I like. I like how Nintendo probably went into that meeting trying to design a character that was charming and enjoyable and brought joy into people's lives, and it just has turned into this absolutely terrifying creature. And I like that part about the whole thing. That part brings me joy. But yeah, he like sticks to friggin' eggs. Like he'll fill a tree with them, and then I have to knock eggs out of the tree instead of fruit. Like whenever you hit a tree, you get 3 pieces of wood out of it. Now eggs can show up instead, so you could get 1 piece of wood and 2 eggs.
What do I use those eggs for?
Well, let me finish complaining about this first.
Oh, okay.
And then also too, like in the ground, whenever you dig up spots in the ground with the X's, you're usually supposed to find a fossil. Now it's just sometimes eggs a lot of the time. When you're fishing, you pull up a lot of eggs out of the water. It's just there's eggs friggin' everywhere.
How does a fucking egg get caught on your fish hook?
Ask that terrifying ass bunny. I'm not doing it. And with the eggs, you take them. I think that you get something from the rabbit when you find all the different types of eggs, because you have like a wood egg, a leaf egg, an air egg, a ground egg, and just wherever you find them is kind of what they're called. I haven't found him since I've collected all the eggs, which is funny because I saw him literally everywhere before I had all the eggs.
He'll find you.
That's what I'm scared of.
He's probably like a fucking snake oil salesman who didn't expect you to ever get all the eggs. And now he's like, I gotta fucking
Oh
go.
shit! Andy's got the. I'm out of here, Nook.
I have nothing for this man.
Gotta go. I don't know why
It's
he's
supposed
like
to be a ruse.
later. See.
Time to hop on out of here.
He's calling up that pelican that lands on the beach and can't find his ship. He's just looking for a ride out of there. So
Gulliver, we've gotta go. We've start the boat, Gulliver, for frig's sakes.
Throw some more charcoal in the oven.
So stop it. So anyway,
And scene.
you get all these stupid ass eggs, and you just essentially make DIY recipes with them. So it'll get the more eggs you collect, the more times your villager goes, oh man, the pattern on this egg looks kind of cool. Hey, I got a DIY recipe, and
Scrambled.
Then you can just make stuff.
Like
So
what do
that's
you
essentially all it's for.
you make like a chair, but this one has the Easter egg pattern, or sorry, the Bunny Day egg pattern on it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like an egg bed. There's There's egg flooring. There's probably an egg chair. There's egg clothing that is absolutely horrendous. Really, everything that you make with the eggs looks like absolute garbage. And it's just the only the thing about it is, even though you're collecting all these eggs, and it's kind of frustrating when you're not getting as much wood when you need wood, but you can still craft them into these items, and they still sell decently. So there's that positive spin on it. But it doesn't bring anything to the table that I want to spruce my island up with, even for the duration of the whole egg event.
Yeah, seems maybe a little soon to be denying you the resources you're trying to grind up to open these shops and things.
Well, I
Tell
think
me
that's,
about it.
Yeah, and see, that's kind of the first thing I thought about too when Warren brought it up. Is I'm kind of at the stage now where I've kind of got my main shops and stuff set up, so it's not as big of an issue for me if I'm running into 100,000 eggs, because I'm not grinding to try to get iron nuggets to open up Timmy and Tommy's shop. Whereas for Warren, when he's hitting a rock hoping for iron nuggets and 6 eggs come out of the 5 regular items that are allowed to pop out, then that's annoying.
An event where you're hoping not to get the event item seems a little messed up, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Like and I think that's the best way of putting it. Like it was too soon out of the gate for something like this, and there's too much of it this quick out of the gate. It could have waited, or they could have set it up where at least the eggs don't pop out as often as they do. Like maybe a couple when you do every 10 trees, maybe you get 2 eggs or something like that.
It looks like this
Is there a
event.
benefit to getting multiple of the same egg?
No, it's just for crafting items. So if an item takes like 5 of a kind of egg, then that's all it's for.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say they should just, once you get 1 egg, they should just say, okay, you don't need that egg anymore.
And it might have been neat but it also might have been more frustrating if they did it this way. But if like the terrifying ass bunny was just like, hey, you need to find all 5 of these eggs before Easter, and when you find them, bring them to me and I'll give you a prize for them. That might have been cool, because then you kind of just over the course of a few days, you just, keep doing your thing, and eventually you come across these 5 eggs, and then you kind of get some dope item for it. That would have been cool, but having 100,000 eggs all over the island to craft stuff that I don't even care about or will ever use is just, it's a little bit overboard, and incredibly frustrating for those that are kind of in the early stages trying to get the foundation of their island started. It's frustrating when you're trying to get 30 iron nuggets and you're getting eggs out of the 4 rocks that are on your island.
I got a pro tip for you. As a man who has not turned the console on while he's had an internet connection, the eggs have not shown up yet.
Oh shit, that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to be online to play? I don't know. Obviously not.
No, I think you need online for like the maybe the big event update stuff to come patching through, but it seems to just go off of your system clock to be like, okay, this is a new day. I'm gonna give you my Tom Nook speech, and you're gonna get back to it.
It's really interesting that they patch in the Like it seems like they live patch in the holiday event. So next year's Bunny Day might not be this exact same event, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, they could change it. Which is a promising thing, right? Like they're still kind of in. This is the first time Animal Crossing has been disconnected to online, so this is new for them as well.
Yeah.
Because this bunny day thing, I think this is what they've been doing with all the past Animal Crossings. So, you know, I don't know if they ramped it up or changed it too much, but yeah, it definitely needs some adjustments going into next year.
Well, there hasn't been crafting in the past Animal Crossings, right? There hasn't been like, I'm going to hit this tree and get 5 wood and go turn this wood into a chair or whatever.
No, you just would get the items in the past, yeah. So I don't exactly know how it worked with the previous ones then, but they did do something. It has always been like an egg-related thing with past ones.
Yeah.
I just can't remember exactly what they did. So it's a learning thing, right?
Only 9 more days until the end of that event in real lifetime.
It's the thing is, it goes for so long. Maybe like a week of it would have been enough. It seems like they're maybe stretching it out a little bit longer than they needed to. That's for sure.
3 weeks? When did it start? Do you know?
It started this past week. Yeah, Tuesday.
Oh yeah. Okay. So
did the cherry blossom stuff start before or at the same time? It would be before, right?
No, it
Because I have cherry blossoms but no eggs.
It would have started on April 1st.
That was cherry blossoms or both of them?
I think it was just cherry. When? Because it started.
That would make sense.
April 1st was Wednesday, right? No, when was April 1st? I don't know my days of the week anymore.
April 1st was Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that eggs started on. Maybe it all started on Wednesday. Wait, what? When did the eggs start?
Cherry blossoms are April 1 to 10. Let's see what is this called Bunny Day?
Maybe it all started on the same day. It might have all been April 1st.
That'd be weird because I haven't seen an egg yet, but I have cherry blossoms.
Yeah. Bunny Day is April 1st to 12, so April 1st till Easter.
So they
cherry
probably
blossoms
program the seasons right into the game, and then the holiday events are online. So that's probably exactly what it is.
That makes sense.
You're gonna get your. Are you not gonna get your eggs? Intentionally don't ping the server to.
It has not been intentional. I didn't even think about it until today, where it said we need to update your game, but you can start the software without the update. And I was like, what the fuck do they need to update this for already? And I was like, oh, it's probably that egg thing. I will not intentionally do it. I could maybe fire it up in the next 20 seconds here and get it updating, but I certainly don't
do it.
Take the podcast down.
I'm not playing constantly enough at a time for I think the eggs to upset me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually pop in for an hour or something and collect whatever there is and throw it in my storage, pay down my debt a little bit, and then shut her down.
I think for me, when it comes to the whole egg thing, it's not. I don't think I'm. The part about it that frustrates me isn't that the eggs annoy me per se. Like, I don't really care. They're just kind of there. And then I am amused by the rabbit, to be honest. I kind of enjoy that part of it. It's the fact that I don't care about it that bothers me. I'm like, this is a holiday event. This should get me excited to boot up my game, right? You know, when I start going a few days at a time where I'm not picking up Animal Crossing and I'm looking for an excuse to pick it back up, when these holiday events pop up, I want it to be a reason for me to want to pick up the game, right? Whereas right out of the gate, this egg thing is not something I would come to the game for. If the game wasn't as new as it is and I wasn't still doing all these new things and still wasn't excited about the fact that everything was fresh, the egg day wouldn't make me pick up the console. It's just not. Yeah, I wouldn't bother with it.
Bit of a flub on their first holiday event. I was gonna say, and sort of realize that this is probably offensive to some people, but doesn't Easter kind of feel like a C tier holiday? Doesn't Easter, like, unless you're devoutly religious, does anybody really like celebrate Easter?
Well, I've worked every Easter for the last 6 years and had options to take it off, but taking the time and a half instead.
I like it because there's usually a family dinner. Obviously, won't be this year, but there's a family dinner and get together and stuff, and I enjoy that. My mom still gets my sister and I Easter baskets, which is dope. So,
but is
I'm all over getting all the chocolate.
Is it because your parents are religious? Like we?
No, we're not. We are. My parents are probably the most not religious people you'll ever meet on the planet. It's just all about getting together with the family and having a nice big meal, and just that's essentially what it is. Just being together.
Yeah, there's never a bad excuse to get the family together.
I don't think that it's and with Animal Crossing, you know, obviously Nintendo, so there's still a lot of kids playing it, right? And Easter's a big deal for kids, so I think that that's probably why they do it because
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah, it's
Easter
you know,
was a big deal for me when I was young.
Yeah,
yeah,
me too.
there's that younger audience that's all over it, right? So you know, to them, this Egg Day thing might be the coolest thing on the planet, right? So that might be what Nintendo's going for.
Like do you guys do like chocolate egg hunts when you were a kid?
Oh, absolutely.
It's like the egg hunts that the kids will do on the 12th. I'm finding these eggs in the trees. It's just like real life.
But
Yeah,
see, that's
I'd come down the stairs and I'd follow the egg trail to my couch and look under the couch and be like, "God damn it, this isn't softwood."
as a child.
Yeah.
Where's my mom? Where's my iron nuggets?
Where's?
Where's my
I need to
iron
build
nuggets?
this
Oh,
shop!
fuck! So, anyways, sorry.
Tom says he's gonna break my knees. I really need these.
That's why, and you know, thinking about back to when I was a child hunting for Easter eggs, that's why it'd be cool if in the game, like I said, they had it where the eggs were more rare, right? Then even I, as a grown-ass man, would get pumped if I dug into the ground and I was like, oh shit, it's been 3 days and I finally found the ground egg.
But then on the other side of that, you might not find it and be like, I couldn't find the fucking egg. They make it so rare. There's blown up 2,000 hours to play goddamn Animal Crossing.
I would rather have that reaction than the reaction of there's far too many of something. I would rather have the frustration of not being able to get something because I know that the joy that I'm going to get out of actually finally finding it is just so tremendous that it's worth it.
Oh, yeah, I'm right there with you.
Yeah. That's the way it's got to be.
Animal Crossing, still a good video game.
It's still a good video game. Yeah. Easter thing aside, it's an incredible game, and
The opinions have not soured on Animal Crossing.
no.
My opinion has not soured on Animal Crossing, but I have taken my predictable arc on a game like Animal Crossing, where I've picked it up every single day still to keep my Nook Mile streak going. But I've been playing it as little as 15 minutes a day.
It's sort of what
And only at work.
Oh, wow.
Like, I've not played a lick of it at home in a long time.
It's a weird thing because, like, most of us are in lockdown. We've never had more time to play video games. But Animal Crossing, to me, seems like one of those games you kind of do while you're doing something else. Like, I'm listening to a podcast, or, God help me, I'm watching wrestling for some reason.
Wrestling and Animal Crossing go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, in this like stay at home mode though, I feel like I don't have any space. I don't need to do the two things at once anymore, so I never want to do the two things. And if for whatever fucking reason I end up watching wrestling, I'm just gonna sit there with nothing else happening and watch wrestling for like 4 minutes and be like, this is bad. I'm gonna go do something else. What the
dark?
What am I doing?
What I specifically said to Warren when we were talking about it is that I feel like I just don't have the right show where everything I'm watching too intently.
Yeah.
And I just don't have that perfect show that I want to be playing Animal Crossing during.
Because wrestling's bad. God damn it! We've never needed wrestling more.
It's true.
WWE is bad, I should say. I don't really partake of the other brands, which I've heard is okay.
I don't either.
Maybe it's
anymore.
Maybe it's time.
Yeah.
I've heard they're all right.
I always feel like weird whenever Brando talks about Animal Crossing and saying how it's got to be like a background game, because I will sit there and I will play that game for 3 hours straight and not focus on anything else in the world, and I always question whether or not I actually have a problem.
Doesn't it like?
I think you're not the only one though.
Yeah,
You all
that's
have
what I think. It's because
problems.
because it's like even with like a game like Stardew Valley, right? Like I just absolutely love those games of collecting shit and growing stuff and building things. Like I just other than like a good like Mario game, that might be like my favorite game genre ever. Like the whole Harvest Moon thing and making stuff.
It's
like
right up your alley.
I can't get enough of it. That's all I want to do. Like I love games where I'm just like building stuff and like making things. And like I've thought about it a few times playing Animal Crossing. I've sat there and I've been like, what is the point to all of this? Like, what am I even doing right now?
It's a dangerous road to start down.
Yeah, like, but seriously though, I'm like, what the? At least with Stardew Valley, I kind of you kind of had a goal with it, or like Harvest Moon or something like that. Like I kind of had some sort of a path of what I needed to do. Animal Crossing, I cannot answer the question of what are you doing in this game.
Get
I
out from
saw-
under Tom Nook.
Well,
I think
yeah,
that-
but it's never going to happen. It's
Wait.
too
That
real
what's
if you
the
put it that
point-
way.
That what's the point voice is kind of in the back of my head through every single video game I play, but I feel like most video games do a better job of like drowning that voice out than Animal Crossing does.
Well, that's what it is, right? But it's weird because there's games that kind of have a path that you follow, right? Like here's what I gotta do, here's what I gotta get done, blah 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 blah. Whereas Animal Crossing, it kind of does that for you, but it also really doesn't. Like it's very much so just like I don't know, here's this world and kind of go. But it's weird because it's not like a complete sandbox because there's still things to do. But I really don't know what I'm doing. It's just
And I think
it's
for
strange.
me, a big part of what doesn't maybe hold me as well is like I like games like The Sims, although I haven't played Sim. There hasn't been a new Sims in a very long time, and Roller Coaster Tycoon and that stuff where it's just purely like creativity and make this look as cool as you want and make this organize this stuff and put it wherever you want. Whereas Animal Crossing just has that enough of that layer of like you need to do these things to be like. Perfect example, I haven't like added furniture or done anything to my house in like a week and a half because I'm like, why bother? I'm just going to get a bigger house. Why don't I just spend use all my money on getting rid of my debt? Just get rid of my debt until I have the biggest house and then I'll start being creative with it.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm doing though too. But it just sounds like you don't want to go through the process of doing that part and you just want to get to the creativity part.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of people who do a better job balancing that where they're like, oh, I have this cute little house and then naturally get a bigger house and add more stuff to it and then get a bigger house and add more stuff to it where it's like I have the same 4 things that started in my house when it was a tent and I'm like, well, I have no point in putting anything in here until I'm out of debt.
I'm kind of the same as you, Rando, where I just don't find like I'm just not that type of creative. I'm not very artistic, I don't draw or paint, and like I just don't get any joy in like decorating my house. I like you would be like, all right, I'm not gonna redo this place I'll save it to the end, and once I got my big place, then I'll deck it out, I guess.
Like I will very much say that I play that game wrong in that I play it in the way I play a lot of other video games where I go into my Nook miles checklist and I'm like, what's the next thing that I get Nook miles for? And it's like catch 50 fish, and I was like, I guess I could just go catch 50 fish right now instead of kind of letting it naturally all happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm kind of the opposite. And I'm that way too with other games when it comes to challenges and things like that. Like the challenges in that game, I don't really even pay attention to. I'm all about like, Tom Nook's like, hey man, you got to make a campsite and make sure you make the campsite look good because then people are going to be more likely to move here. So I'm over there. I'm whipping up a nice campsite. I put over like a fountain bath in it. I'm setting up a campfire and like chair. Like that's what I like, right? I'm like, okay, I'm going to make this look good. I'm going to put flowers everywhere. That's the part of that game I like. So maybe that's just exactly what it is. It's just all about having a blank canvas and just kind of making something that looks cool and kind of making your own little dream place, a world that you can get sucked into. So maybe that's my answer to what is the point of Animal Crossing.
Is it like I said earlier, that I think asking what is the point of video game is a dangerous question.
Yeah.
It is, but like I said, at least there's when you play a single player story or something, my goal is to get through the game, right? Like what's the next objective? Okay, go to that objective and just keep kind of moving forward, right? Where Animal Crossing for me, it's so open that it doesn't really answer that question for me, and it's weird, but I also like it as well too. So maybe that's what I like about games like that.
What else you been up to other than Animal Crossing?
Well, I don't want to steal all the ones from the other fellas, but
okay,
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll all get in on all of them.
Yeah, we'll all get. Move on to somebody else.
Except for Warren. Warren, you stayed silent on Animal Crossing. You stay silent on this next game. God damn you.
I mean, I just thought everything was said kind of about Animal Crossing. I'm very similar. I'm kind of hybrid of what they were saying too, where like I mean, historically, I'm not really big on these style of games. This one has got its teeth in me right now pretty good.
You requested we use Blathers for your image tonight.
I'm a
You're
big
so
fan of
deep.
Blathers.
Yeah, so
Blathers makes me laugh a lot. His when he's asleep during the day and you wake him up and he does this like hoo thing. It fucking makes me laugh every single time. I send a video of it to Andy every time I do it.
Ow, he's asleep during the day.
And he says
He
any
doesn't
hoot.
like bugs.
He's afraid of bugs.
Yeah.
He's a good man. I'm a big fan
Dare
of
I
his,
say you?
I find that I similar to Andy. I do more of what just Nook is telling me to do, like the tasks. But similar to you guys, I don't really give a shit about my house either. Other than like if I find something really cool that I'm like, oh, that's kind of sweet, I'd probably have that, then I'll put it in there. But I'm not gonna like go bananas to try and get all the stuff right away to get it because I have to have it either. It'll just be like, oh, I guess I'm kind of close to that. Maybe I'll go chop some wood and then I have it. But for the most part, I just do it.
I have an awful lot of shit in my front yard. Like I live in a trailer.
Me too. Yeah, I've got a little campfire out front. I've got
Little
my
tire-
tire,
little
and
tire
a rock
seat.
and a sleeping bag there for people to just hang out.
Dishwasher with no
Yeah.
door on it.
I have a urinal beside my bed.
Sure. Hey, that's just convenient. That's...
Is that? Did you buy the squat potty thing or whatever that?
No, it
was?
was I think it was called the standing toilet, and it was essentially a urinal.
Do villagers have to poop? Do you have to poop in that game? Do you have to use the bathroom?
No.
No, it is incredible how much of the stuff that you buy in that game is completely uninteractive. Like it is just like, here's your laundry board. You'll never do laundry. Here's
you
your
sit on the toilet or anything?
Yeah, you can sit on a toilet. I have a toilet at my house now, and when you sit on, he like sits there, and when you hop off, it flushes. But that goes
it
back
keeps
to
his pants up.
that's what goes back to it being weird though, right? It's because like Brando's right, like none of it is really interactive. But it's so that's why I'm like, what is the point to all of this? But I'm like, well, at least one's cool.
It is purely decorative, and if you don't get into like the social media aspect and the online elements of it very much, it's only for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and see, that's why I think what I really like about this Animal Crossing 2 is that it's coming to the day and age of Reddit being as popular as it is. So I'll go on the Animal Crossing Reddit and I'll look at everybody's shit and I'm like, oh, that's fucking really cool. I enjoy that too, right? And it makes me want to like make something to put on there. So there's that also kind of encouraging a person to make their place look dope.
I made a very nice flower garden, like a design with flowers that I'm very proud of, and it's the only thing I give a shit about on my whole island.
I will say as well too, with Warren, something that I've been really enjoying is just like, even if I just do this till the end of time, I just enjoy hopping on every day and finding a couple of random things to mail to him and then sending him letters. So Warren and I have been mailing a lot of stuff to each other lately. So
anytime I get a fossil that I already have, rather than sell it, I'll just send it to Andy and put some dumb message on the postcard because it's funny.
That's same here. So I'll just
Andy also, we visited each other's islands now. Andy came to my island and left a thing on my board that says, "A note to all residents regarding the Whittle, run." And fuck did I laugh when I saw that, like 2 days after after he was there. I just happened to go to it and I'm like, what the fuck is this? You just do such dumb little shit like that is very, at least for me, I find to be very entertaining.
Yeah, I enjoy those things as well too. So it's good. And sending the fossils is fun. But collections are growing faster than they otherwise would. So
what is gonna switch games here on y'all? What is a Bleeding Edge, gentlemen? You have Bleeding Edge written on your games list this week.
1 sec here, fellas. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom. You guys can feel free to get into this a little bit.
So this is gonna be a fun discussion because we have about, I couldn't even tell you, maybe an hour we played a Bleeding Edge, if that.
Yeah.
And I was pretty drunk for all of it.
Assume I know literally, this is probably one of the few games in the world that I know literally nothing about.
Seems like a really low budget, much more melee focused Overwatch.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's
payloads, there's capture the points is kind of the point of the game, I guess. What's that other mode that they had too?
I think there's only
the
the two, right?
Game mode.
Oh, Andy's back already, or peeing with us.
No, I was joking about that. That was supposed to be a joke.
I see.
Well, oh
Right
shit!
over my head.
Yeah, maybe. Well, because
nobody said anything, and I was like, I guess they thought I was serious.
Because you never want to make fun.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was like gonna say something about like, oh man, if we were in the studio, Brandon would have to get up twice already. But I was like, well, you make fun of a man for having to pee.
I don't think I'd say that right on the podcast, so I'd probably like text you guys just let you know where I was.
That was also my second thought was like, just fucking go next time, whatever.
Why would you?
Yeah, no, it was clear. Okay, now I'm actually gonna have to go.
That was good. We all went down that same avenue of thought together.
I physically jumped when Andy talked again. I was like, "What the fuck?"
I thought he said he was done. As your podcast PD, Andy, just go. You don't need to tell everyone you're going. Just go to the bathroom.
I know. It was for the joke. Oh. Anyways, where were we? Somebody describe a bleeding edges.
It's
like a low budget melee focused Overwatch
from Ninja Theory, from the folks who brought us which Devil May Cry? DMC, Senua's Sacrifice. This is apparently a fast and frenetic 4-on-4 team brawler where every fighter. I could click into the website, but I'm not going to. So that's all we get.
No, don't do it. We'll tell you everything you need to know.
It's a 4-on-4 melee. So like. When we say melee combat, this is going to be a hard thing to describe, probably. Are you like kind of locking on? Is it like, have you seen For Honor? Are you like sort of locking on and squaring off with somebody almost like one-on-one style?
No, it's very much everyone's going everywhere. There's no lock on. I think you can hit multiple people with one swing of your sword. It's but it is like divided up into attackers, healers, and tanks, I think. I think it's the exact same as Overwatch. You have whatever your regular ability is. You have an alt like in Overwatch. And each hero has 2 alts, and you get to pick which alt you want to use at the beginning of a match.
Okay, it's kind of there are MOBAs that have done that before.
Right, and then a couple bumper abilities, and usually a passive or something.
I'm watching a little bit of gameplay here.
It seems like a big arena. Obviously, Overwatch maps are usually a little more linear. This just seems like a big open arena that you run around either collecting stuff on one game mode. You collect stuff and try and drop it off, almost like a bounty hunt in Titanfall, where the bank opens at the end of the round, and go try and deposit everything you've gotten into a bank, and you can kill someone and take their stuff. Or a capture the point mode, which are the only 2 modes as far as we could tell. And yeah, you just there's no like role play restrictions like there is in Overwatch. Anyone can be anyone they want, and it's Overwatch from there.
The
attacks, it's not very good. It doesn't feel tight.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
that's the best way of putting it.
The attacks look. I'm watching gameplay right now. The attacks have like some weight to them, where like if someone can like kind of combo you and juggle you like fighting game style.
Yeah, and you can like dodge out of. You have a dodge, just a little dash, and you can dash out of combos. But your dash obviously has a recharge and stuff like that, and you can parry. There's a parry system that I think I pulled off 1 or 2 times the entire time we played. It was very hard for me.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't even know there was parry either.
Yeah.
Maybe, I wonder if it's only.
It's on your like move list. No, it's on. Well, it was on. I think I played 3 different characters, and it was a move for all of them.
I might check this out. I mean, it doesn't. It looks like you say. It looks even the UI looks like Overwatch. Like the health bar. And the effect on like the health disappearing off the bar looks 100% out of Overwatch, like to the point where this seems like it's plagiarizing.
Characters.
Yeah, this dude is playing basically Genji.
There's a Genji. There's a
very Lucio.
Pig lady that is very Roadhoggish.
It's even like laid out. I sort of can't get over how much the UI. Granted, I'm watching this technical alpha from this is January 2020, but. Holy shit, do they ever wear their inspiration on their sleeve?
It is very Overwatch. It's on Game Pass. You should hop in. We should all 4 of us play it one day.
Yeah, I would totally give this a try.
Because it is teams of 4, so then we'll have no one to blame but ourselves when we lose.
That's going to suck because I'm going to have nobody to yell at.
Yeah.
It's very heavily relying on teamwork, though. Like, it's kind of spells it out right in the tutorial from Jump, where it's like, you're always going to do better if you're attacking with your friends and not separating. And
yeah, you really want to try and outnumber people in small fights. And I think you got to take down healers in this game like early, in a way that you don't even in Overwatch. Even though that's important in Overwatch, it just seemed like I would spend some time fighting someone who's getting healed, and it was just a pointless completely pointless endeavor.
Kind of echoing off of the whole teamwork thing about it. One of the problems that I have with the game is the whole teamwork thing to me doesn't feel like there's any sort of strategizing with it. It just feels like you're literally trying to overwhelm the other people. Whereas with Overwatch, it's like, I can talk to Warren when Warren's Bastion and I'm Bastion, and I can be like, hey, I have my.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
What the hell's that guy? What the hell's that guy's name again that I played?
Yeah, schmuck.
You're Bastion and I'm Bastion.
So when Warren is stop
Lord.
it. I'm trying to make a serious point here. So anyways, all right, I'm good. When Warren is say Bastion and I am Baptiste, stop it.
Stop the landing.
And if I have my super, that's like my damage amplifier, I can be like, okay, Warren, set up. I got my damage amplifier. I'm going to set it up in front of you, and you can just start shooting guys. Like, there's that type of strategy to Overwatch, where in Bleeding Edge, I never felt like, even though we only played for an hour, but I still think it's enough time to decide whether or not those moments exist. There was never a moment where I felt like I could like strategize with Brandon and Warren to be like, okay, you do this, and we're going to take this guy down. It just felt like, okay, are we all running in there at the same time? That's what we need to do right now. If we're not
Hopefully
doing that,
we don't
then we're gonna
die.
lose. Yeah, hopefully. Hey, let's go, chums. Let's see if we make it out of here alive. Like that's all there is to it.
Yeah, I sort of wonder if your first hour of Overwatch also felt like that. If after a few hundred hours, it's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do, fellas. We're gonna such and such and such and such.
And
yeah,
that's
like
the,
almost every video game, there is probably even bad video games, which I'm not saying this one is, have a deep layer of strategy on the very, very, very bottom somewhere, where it's like, well, if you just play this character and use this healer and do this strategy, you'll probably win 9 times out of 10 unless you run into someone doing the same thing.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not going to hold this game to kind of what I said there. That's just what it felt like right out of the gate there, right? Like it was like where even with Overwatch, I can still remember going back to playing that game the first time. It still felt tight. That game still felt tight, right? Like I could go into that, and even though I didn't necessarily know how to work off of my teammates perfectly, it still felt like whenever I got in a matchup, I could come out of it winning or losing, or like whatever happened, I could be like, okay, I just was not on point with my shots there, or whatever the deal was, right? Like I could kind of pinpoint what I did wrong. Whereas with this game, I'm just kind of like, I'm just button mashing. Like I'm just kind of going in there and just hoping that, I get the first hit so that I knock them on the ground and I beat them into the cement. Like it just feels very button mashy.
It seems like a fighting game. And we
that's
don't
thing too, right?
play fighting games really between us.
Yeah,
It's very simple. Like it's still beta-ish. I had a lot of really bad lag issues, and when that game lags, it is impossible.
Beta-ish?
Because it's a melee, that it's impossible to do anything, right? Because there's guys zipping all over the place, and connection issues were a real problem for me. I don't think you guys had too many problems with that, but
No, which is what made me think that it was a game problem and not an internet problem. Was because Warren was having crazy problems and I was having no problems in the same match, which never happens. I usually get it before Warren does.
Bleeding Edge.
I'm not writing it off yet. I'm still into trying it out every now and then, but yeah.
Me neither. In fact, I think last night we ended up settling on something else, but we were waiting for our food to get here, and I was like, do you want to play some of that Bleeding Edge game again?
I'll get it downloaded. We'll try a few games here with the full team and see what we think, maybe.
You guys were going to play that after I went to bed?
Yeah. I was like, I think the sun was still up, so.
yeah.
It was 6:30.
That's funny because last night I was the one that said, "Hey boys, let's play some games, stay up all night and get drunk." Woo! And I was in bed like 9.
That's true. It's true. It was shocking. I've never seen anything like it.
That's usually how it goes. By the way, what time is it now? All right, see you fellas. We'll go to bed.
Wait, is this a joke?
He's gone.
And scene.
Right. Let's play Bleeding Edge.
Yeah. Go back to our rabbit with the accent. That bit was killing.
Yeah. We'll bring him back towards the end of the show. Don't worry. You boys want to talk about some Doom?
Yes.
I've
always
finished Doom. I've formulated a complete opinion, but I would love to know your thoughts. You two, I assume I'm the only one who's finished it.
Yes, I'm still very early. I'm playing in very small chunks. I think I'm in the 3rd mission. I'm going after the 2nd Hell Priest.
Oh yeah, okay. Which guns do you have? I can remember it more by the guns better than.
I have the rocket launcher. I think is my last pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have 4 guns, I believe. I'm getting more and more in love with that game as it gives me kind of more and more stuff. In a way that I feel like I was running into enemies where I didn't have a good solution for because of my inability to hit the weak spots the way they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think, especially since I got the rocket launcher, I am able to prioritize the rocket launcher in a way that I can kill a lot of enemies the wrong way, which is just by fucking feeding into them without knocking their weapons off.
Yeah.
In a way that I feel like it's making me a lot better at the game, because boy, oh boy, when they first introduced the Mancubus and I did not have the rocket launcher, I was like, there is 0 chance I will ever get both the arm cannons off this motherfucker.
It like at a certain point, I just kind of gave up on the weak points for the most of it, unless I had a specific problem with like, ooh, I gotta take the fucking guns off this guy or he's gonna mess me up.
Yeah.
I just fucking dump into him.
Like, I have some sort of like 6th sense for getting that top cannon off the spider.
Yeah, it's real easy.
Yeah, all the other things that they're telling me to do, I'm like, I don't fucking. By the time I even get that shot lined up, I could have put 4 rockets into this guy's face.
Just you wait. Just you wait until the 18 steps you have to do to kill enemies at the end of that game. Whew!
Can't wait. I like having 2 grenades now. I have an ice grenade and a frag.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like the cooldown on the grenade was way too long.
It's until you upgrade it, it's very long.
Yeah, which I actually just did upgrade it last time I played, but it allowed me to at least like fire a grenade, hit left on the D-pad, and know that I had another grenade ready to go when things got hairy.
Warren, about how far do you think how much Doom have you played?
I think Brando's farther than me because I still only have 1 grenade.
These are very much
I'm on the 3rd, I think, maybe just starting the 3rd level. I don't know. It's tough because I only played through that first one, I think only once. I really, really liked it. Like, it was one of my favorite games of that whole year. But this one just doesn't seem to be pulling me in the same way for whatever reason. Like, I don't know what it is. There's a lot to it. I'm not crazy about all these new like upgrades and all that shit.
There's a lot to it by the end of that game.
Kind of turns me off of it, to be honest.
Right there with you.
I don't totally remember the first one very well, but I feel like
there was a
lot more
lot
simple
in the
than
first
this.
one too. But for me, I feel like the biggest difference for me is the difficulty and the amount they expect you to rely on those systems. I feel like I had 100 things to do in that first game, but I got it to the point where it's like I have 2 guns I use.
Yeah.
Whereas now, is there a lot more demanding that you use all your guns, even if it's just to use all your ammo.
Yeah,
and
like,
use all your
here's
grenades,
a
even
shield
if it's just to
guy
have
that you
more.
can only blow up his shield with this one specific gun that you have to like pull up your gun wheel to flip over to that gun and
just chainsaw those motherfuckers.
I just want to fucking
we don't
shoot
got no
people with
time.
a shotgun.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
So that ended up
And
being. Sorry, go ahead, Brando.
I think that is where like I have half a mind to if I run up against any wall, I think you could turn the difficulty back down to normal on this one because you and me are both playing one up from normal and get a lot of that same like I can just mow through hell now.
Yeah, I very much cooled off on that game. Was pretty positive on it last week. Have finished it and kind of as you get more into the game and as they start. Like Brando, it was kind of interesting. You said you were happy to get that second grenade. By the end of that game, you have like I'm not exaggerating, like 30 different tools to use, and certain enemies require certain combinations of them in a way that the design ethos towards the end of Doom Eternal is, what if we slowed it down? What if instead of going fast and always killing things and like Doom 2016 is very much about momentum and like I'm going fast. I'm never ever stopping because if I stop, I'm dying. I'm always moving. I always have a plan, and there is kind of a purity to like you say, just using these 2 guns or whatever that I want.
Right. And as you continue with that, I will say at the point of Doom 2020 that I'm at right now, it still feels like that.
Yeah.
But if they are going to keep layering things on, like you said,
you still have, I think, 4 different hotkeys. You're going to get 4 unique abilities with their own button that you haven't even fucking seen yet.
I'm almost out of buttons.
I know. No, don't worry. You'll be like holding modifiers. So like now your grenade button does something else, and like, so I finished that game today. They start introducing, and this kind of sums up my problem with it. They introduce an enemy towards the end of the game called the Marauder. He's got an axe and a shield, and to fight that enemy, you have to do something that you should never ever do in Doom. You have to stop. You have to physically stop moving. You have to get yourself in there's kind of a sweet spot for his range where if you're too far, he throws his axes. If you're too close, he shoots a shotgun at you, and he's invulnerable unless you counterattack him. He flashes green, and you got to shoot him when he flashes, and you just kind of got to wait for it. So it leads to these encounters where, you know, the music is just blaring in your headphones. You're ripping and tearing, and are just like totally in the zone. And then one of these dudes shows up. And suddenly you have to decide, you realize to finish that encounter, you have to stop playing Doom. You have to stop moving. You have to slow down. Do you want to kill all the enemies first, which is usually pretty the way to do it? And then do you want to fight this guy? Or, you know, do you want to try to fight this guy? Like, the Marauders are totally, and all the boss fights are right there with them. And, like, the last third of the game feels like they totally lost their design ethos. Like, instead of going fast and ripping and tearing and being the Doom Slayer, you are very carefully and considerately trying to like snipe these different pieces on the last boss. The last boss is fucking bad. Like, the last 3 levels, I think, are bad, where they introduce these Marauders way too much. By the end of that game, you have 2 grenades, you have a flamethrower, you have a sword, you have 8 different weapons that each have 2 different firing modes and 16 different upgrades. The sword fucking sucks. The sword is such a waste of your fucking time. And, like, it's just one more thing to worry about. There's just too many systems. It bogs itself down in so many systems by the end of that game that you just can't get into that zone because you're like, oh, fuck, okay, here's one of these green mancubuses. That's the one. I have to melee that one, I think. A shield guy popped up. I got to switch to my shield. Oh, here's the guy. I got to snipe his thing out of the middle of him. And, like, you are spending more time thinking about, like, how am I going to kill these guys? And then this Marauder, and it totally just kills the momentum. And like you say, there are multiple times towards the end of that where I turned it down to the easiest difficulty because, like, it is not
you want most of motherfuckers
fun.
down.
Yeah.
Well, that's super disappointing to me too, because like you said, in the 16 one, like it was that's what made that game so fun, was how you, like you say, you had to keep moving. It was so hectic. You'd turn around a corner, there'd be a guy there, you'd try and kill him, you couldn't, and then you'd have to run away, and you're just like, by the time you got through those encounters, you felt like you just fucking did so much shit, and your heart's going and the music's pumping and whatever. Whereas, like, I don't know, I saw the one upgrade is like, slow down time when you aim down your sights or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to do that, though. I want to fucking feel like a badass that's just fucking moving and shooting and blowing shit up.
Yeah, that's another huge part of it, is that upgrade in particular was huge for me. But a lot of those upgrades are, like, completely fucking throwaway in a way that, like, glory kills activate from farther away. I guess.
See, I feel like I'm zipping across half of them.
Yeah, you already
teleport.
You're just, like, blinking across huge sections of the map.
I don't need them to be any faster because they seem real fast, and sometimes I need to wipe my palms off when I'm doing them.
Yeah, it's really. I think Doom 2016 is the better game by a mile. Having finished Eternal, like, the last third of that game, I think it's bad. I think there are some downright terrible parts of it, like, really just shocking design choices. Where like what why would you? What the fuck happened? It's like the last third of the game feels like it's made by a different team almost. And like Doom 1 had kind of just this like effortless brevity. It was hilarious. Because it was so self-aware but never acknowledged it, where I think the writing in Doom Eternal is bad. I think it is, like, super fucking forced.
I really like the codex stuff.
Some of the codex stuff is all right. There is
I like how they call him, or I like how they call him, if you see the Doomslayer or Doom Guy.
You'll
Like, well, that's fucking right, my kind of dumb.
so some of like those written things are pretty good, and it starts off pretty good where you're like, yeah, this is more the first game, and then you very quickly get into what feels like a Borderlands situation almost, where they are, like you are getting like sassy holograms who are like, we say mortally challenged, not demons, and like they go out of their way to explain every nook and cranny of that universe in a way like it fucking sucks. It was way better when it was a mystery, and you're like, wow, why Doom Guy's just waking up in this coffin, and like, he is the game is very self-aware, but at the same time is completely not self-aware, where he is just like smashing every computer terminal instead of using it and stuff. And they really, it's not even that they try to double down on that, because it's not like he's the big goofy break everything. They just they
I
go
was pretty upset that the upgrade robots, he doesn't fucking smash them anymore.
yeah, like they there's a part
He used
where
to take
he
the thing and then just punch him in the face, and now he just takes him and leaves him floating there.
yeah, there's a part where he drags that key card over on that guy's neck, and like that's not really funny. The humor sucks. I think the humor is bad. Like Borderlands.
Damning review. This is as big a 180 as I've maybe ever seen.
Yeah, it's so all this said, it is a okay game. If I were pressed to put a score to this, I might give it like a 7. I might give it like a 7.5.
That's not bad.
It is the most Doom. We live in this era where people apparently just love the most, and this is the fucking most. Has the most guns, has so many upgrades that you're not going to give a fucking shit about over half of them, because you'll find the ones you like and that's it. Has so many of these crystal powers that, again, you're not going to give a shit about them because you're going to fill them all out. Has all these suit things that you're not going to give a shit about because you're going to fill them all out. And like it felt like they just added more instead of maybe trying to add some more of the best.
Does the game get harder?
Yes, but not because like it gets harder because you fight those fucking guys who want you to stand still. And like it doesn't get harder in ways that are fun. It gets harder because the design ethos seems crazy.
If the game gets harder, I don't know if I'll be able to continue on the difficulty I'm on.
It definitely does. Like you'll meet a second Mancubus that you got to punch to make the armor fly off, and it's I don't really like Doom Eternal very much. Yeah. And like it's as you
see, like hearing you talk about it and hearing the 7.5 score do not read together.
Well, Doom 2016 is one of my favorite games. It was my game of the year, and so to have the follow up be, it's an average game. It's a totally average video game. I know I'm talking a lot about Borderlands here, but I don't like Borderlands either. I'd still probably it's well made. I'd give that like a 7, maybe. Yeah, Doom Eternal. I think more Doom than 2016. Not better Doom though.
That's definitely very disappointing to hear.
You should just pick up 2016 on Game Pass if you have it, and then wait for a sale. You don't need to play unless you're way into that multiplayer, which I don't know who would be, because I think that thing is fucking terrible as well. Maybe wait for a sale. Did Andy ever make it back from the bathroom? Really? Did Andy ever?
I've been here the
he
whole
went
time.
To pee.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I've been here the whole time. I listened to that whole conversation, and I actually have something to add to it.
Hit us with it.
Oh. As another man who's finished Doom.
Without ever, Brando, I'm going into this knowing that. Without ever, my opening statement was going to be, as I've started twice now, without ever have playing either of the Doom games. I completely agree with Matt, where it's like, when you have a game that kind of has its own special thing going, like Doom does and did with the 2016 version, don't change it like they did. It seems like they made it another shooter game. Like it's kind of transferred itself into being just another kind of shooter, right? Whereas it had that special element of, it's fast and you just go and you just pick the things you like and you just go. And I completely agree that you've turned me off of not wanting to play the second one before I've played the first one, which I know I'll probably like, just for that fact.
It's like this, so there are these challenges in the game called Slayer Gates, which are these kind of like separate. You look at a little separate map, and you do this like designed, bespoke kind of combat where you can tell like it's always the same. So you're like, okay, first the two cyber demons spawn, then the Mancubus, then yada yada yada. those are really good. Those are the best. Those are my favorite parts of Doom Eternal. Excuse me. Where if the game could like have just been a series of those really well designed, tight, maybe 2, 3, maybe like 4 minutes on the longer side of just this pulse pounding. I just got to get through this. This is crazy and frantic, and then you get to breathe a little bit. It would like that is what it was missing. It's frustrating because it gets there sometimes where you're like, man, this is really fun. I don't have 2,000 abilities yet. These Slayer gates are fast and frantic, and it's just like I'm playing Doom. But I got a little bit more. I got like a double air dash, which is really fun. I'll say I love the mobility. I wish I don't remember exactly how it was in Doom, but that double air dash is really fucking awesome. You eventually get an ability where your dash resets quicker on kills, which is really rad because then you're just always dashing. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but like I say, it is not the banger. It is not the game of the year that Doom 2016 was.
I think they got scared. They thought we got to make it completely. We got to take it in a different direction. We got to change it up, keep it fresh, and
I feel like they wanted to make it bigger.
Choice.
Yeah,
blow it out.
Totally feel, and they did,
Which
but
is
not
what I
to
want from a sequel as a concept. I want them as a concept to take this idea and blow it out. Like everything I heard about this game, about them being like, well, we wanted to really make that combat loop more prevalent. That was kind of there in Doom 1. We wanted to kind of push it to the forefront in Doom 2. That all sounded great, and like I said, where I am in the game, that feels great. It sucks that it kind of hits a wall where they went too far with it.
Yeah, and like there have been multiple encounters in that game where I'm just running from enemies, completely like zero ammo, completely fucking out of ammo, 100%, and I just have to run from enemies to try to find the one fodder enemy they spawned on the map, which also feels bad because like now I'm just running and dashing like an idiot for 45 seconds to a minute, trying to find literally the one enemy in this huge pack of 50 demons chasing me that's going to give me ammo so I can keep doing the encounter. I don't know. They lost something. They lost something along the way in this one.
It seemed their main thing they had going for it was the speed and the franticness of it, and it's the momentum. From what I'm hearing, they took the momentum away, and that was the thing that made it special.
Totally. Yeah. 100%. All that said, it is still it's an okay. It's not offensive. If you got it, you're like, this is pretty fucking good. You know what? This is not bad.
Not offensive. Back of the box.
Not offensive.
A couple things that I do like about Doom so far is I really like that it feels like I am always getting more powerful. It feels like I know you guys didn't like Warren specifically didn't like the kind of all the things that you were upgrading and all the different systems. And I will even agree that sometimes I'll pick something up and I'll be like, I can't even remember what I use this to upgrade. But then when I pop open my thing and it kind of shows you what the tokens are in the top right, I'm like, oh fuck, I look at all these things I got and I haven't been paying attention. I'm going to upgrade my shotgun twice. I'm going to upgrade my armor once. And whether that pays off in the end, which it doesn't sound like it does, it feels like I'm getting more powerful.
Yeah. The progression, I think the progression's pretty good. Like you say, there's a lot of things to do. And you do feel like some of those upgrades feel really significant. Where like, oh this one gun just can shoot. It doesn't overheat anymore. I can just shoot forever. The limitation on this gun is gone. Great.
Yeah, even some of the like super early ones, like the machine guns, like the first upgrade you get for the heavy machine gun is that rocket launcher thing.
Oh, it's my bread and butter.
Yeah, where like as soon as I got that, the first time I fired that off, I was like, well, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in any game.
Yeah. Those challenges, I really like the challenges. Those like you end up playing in a lot of different ways because you're like, okay, I gotta ride the shotgun hook 12 times or it's like 50 times and get a kill or whatever.
Yep.
I think that's pretty well done. The trappings around the game, excellent. Being able
the map and the way it kind of like you do not have to be very close to a collectible for them to be like, there's a collectible here.
Yeah, they should.
It's not like you'll be able to find it.
They should take that suit perk that makes the range on that increased out of the game because that is a complete fucking waste of. I don't think it actually increases the range that you detect the things around you because you see all the things like from the beginning of the map basically.
As soon as I look at that in the menu, I was like, well, I do not need this because yeah, it seems like I'll just be walking along and like 8 different question marks are popping up around me. And I'm like, oh, look at all this stuff to get.
Yeah, the map is very good. It's very easy to know. The hard part of the collectibles is not like finding them in the level, which I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm. And I really like the concept of getting to the end of the level and then them being like very visibly, hey, fast travel's open.
Yeah.
Go fucking pick up everything you missed.
So once you leave the level, and everybody has to make this mistake once to learn it, but once you leave the level, that closes, which I did not realize. So if you're going through...
Oh, they gotta play through it again?
Yeah, so once you restart that level, no fast travel. It's only from like that very end point of the level. And there are a lot of those gates that are like, hey, if you can't do the Slayer gate, come back later when you get more guns, more perks and things. So you think, like, it almost leads you to believe that this fast travel must be here for that purpose. And then you finish the map and you go back in and you just have to play through the entire level again, which fucking sucks ass.
Luckily for me, it is very on brand for me to refuse to leave a level until I found everything.
Yeah, I intentionally was leaving those gates. I'm like, I'll do these. I'm gonna bang my head against these. I'll save this till I have some guns. And then that first time you go back in, I'm like, all right, let's go to these gates.
Oh, yeah,
wait, where's the fast travel? And that seems like a mistake that everybody makes because it's they just don't signal that at all, which sucks. But you know, it's not a huge deal. I did have that happen once. It's not a big deal to crank the difficulty to easy and just fly through it.
You'd almost need a second menu because I like the ability to replay a level. But you'd almost need a separate set of like a different terminal on your ship.
Yeah.
To be like, I'd like to go into an enemy-free, fast travel-enabled version of the level versus I'd like to go replay this level.
Like a score run type.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That ship is fucking cool too. That ship is ungodly big.
It's okay.
The very first time I explored it, where I'm like, there's 3 floors. There's a 4th floor.
The Fortress of Doom is okay, but like, it's kind of the crux of.
It remind me of the Altair, or not Altair, Enzo Assassin's Creed, with the Mario's house, the big fucking house that you upgrade and everything, and like in the basement, there's the thing where you put all the things into, and then the magic armor's behind the thing. That was all I was thinking of when I was down there.
By like my
like four floors of this.
By like my 5th time of running down to that basement every level to unlock those things and get the coins and whatnot, it has like a crypt almost. What if we just put it in a fucking menu and I'd have to run down 4 goddamn floors and wait for this slow fucking elevator to go up and down every single time?
Yeah, you could put it all in a terminal.
What if we just put it in a terminal, you know? Like, the Fortress is cool, but once you've seen it once... don't make me run. I don't know. We just finished Doom today, so like I have kind of banged up against the rough edges. The rough edges are still very raw in my mind. But yeah, there's my completed thoughts on it. It's okay. It's okay.
7.5.
It's 7.5. I'll give him that first Doom.
I'll take it.
Fucking solid 10. It's one of the greatest games ever made.
First Doom is really good.
It's got great music. It still has great music, and that's the thing that I was looking forward to. But
there's actually
it still gives me that fucking like moving my head to dodge bullets feeling when I'm zipping around. There's still a lot of it I really like.
Me too.
I mean, I really like all of it right now, but I haven't got to the point where you fell off.
You
also started hot on it.
Yeah, very, very hot. The music was the like single. My most positive takeaway was the soundtrack and the way that the music like dynamically comes in as you're fighting and kind of fades out as you're not. The soundtrack is really fucking dope. You remember? Is that the first Doom? Am I missing first Doom where he in time with the music?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He does it again in this game right off the bat, and it doesn't pop the way it did.
In time with because it was like. The camera came up to him in this one, and they're like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna handle this?" And then he's like, and it wasn't really to the music. Whereas in that first game, it was like at the peak of the music that was already playing. Right when it was ending, it was just like, and
you had no idea it was coming. Like, oh fucking shit!
And that, like, right after the chick, they give you the control over the player, and you're like, "Oh, let's fucking go!"
Yeah. So that right there is how I feel about Doom 2016 to Doom Eternal. You could sum it right up, just like the I was like, yeah, the in Eternal, it's okay. It's almost in time to the music. Pretty good. I guess.
I can't wait for Andy to do the part.
It's man. I think I'm gonna replay Doom 2016. God damn it.
I think what we all need to do is get together via the internet and still physically distance ourselves and watch the 2005 Dwayne The Rock Johnson film entitled Doom.
I have a confession. I don't hate that movie.
I don't hate that movie either.
like Doom Doom Eternal.
I like it for the wrong reasons, I think.
Oh no, so do I.
It's a bad movie, but I really like that movie.
The Rock can really take a bad movie and make it his own.
I was gonna say the only
He's a young Rock too.
like the only
Young actor Rock.
okay, you can't. What spoilers, Andy?
Oh my god.
Well, now that Andy's spoiled the entire
I
film,
haven't seen the
For
thing.
fuck's sakes.
I feel confident in saying my favorite part is at the end when The Rock says, "I'm not supposed to die," and then very obviously dies.
My favorite part is when they turn it into the video game at the end.
Okay,
Yeah.
you get out of here.
Rock
fired
actually
up.
died in
Right
a
up.
movie.
People in the theaters cheered when that came on. I remember.
Oh, I bet they did. I bet they did. White people. And they
Fuck.
clapped at the end.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
film.
yeah.
What
Doom
a
got
good film.
Doom got the polite. Very nice. Wow, that was.
I mean,
Everybody tried really hard.
we might have already brought this up on a podcast some time ago, but let me tell you about the monster white person pop at the end of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, don't tell. No, it's available for streaming now, so I'm going to see it
I'm
pretty
not
soon
gonna
here.
tell you what it is at all. But,
Okay, it's
but
a big white person pop.
It is what you were talking about, where it was like this theater full of white people, Andy.
God damn it.
You
It's
can't
that
deny
and
that.
clapping when the plane lands. Those are the two white people.
Yeah.
As soon as it started, though, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't right there, right in there with it, though. Fucking
Oh,
giving it
an
my all.
absolute adrenaline shot when I
Yeah.
heard the sheer volume of the fucking pop and applause.
Yeah, I have no shame in admitting that I was all over what happened at the end of that movie.
Oh, you guys gotta stop talking about it. All I can do is think of what it might be.
So
I'll see it soon.
here's what happens,
No,
man.
no.
The Rock dies.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
he
be
was Knuckles.
okay. Here's what I think. I think The Rock is involved. I think Knuckles the Echidna shows up and he's like, "Yo, what's up?" And he's voiced by Dwayne Johnson, and everybody fucking loses their shit. I think Knuckles the Echidna rock bottoms. What's it? James, fucking Marsden,
Marsden.
maybe. Yeah, rock bottoms went through a table, and then just says, "Bitch," and it's
Gotta
The Rock's
go
voice.
fast.
Gotta go fast. I think The Rock would make a terrible Knuckles. I'm just gonna throw that out.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
sure he would. The Rock
Yeah.
wouldn't make a terrible anything.
He can play whoever he wants, Andy.
Bad choice.
Wow. What other video game? Tiger King? Warren? I watched Tiger King.
Did you
Let's
watch
talk about Tiger King.
I watched Tiger King.
Oh, yes. Hell fucking yes. This is the best thing to happen to television and film in fucking decades.
It is like this
Decades.
back and forth of like I'm laughing my ass off, but I'm also so this is a real thing that happened, and I'm so horrified. I can't believe people lived through like.
And like,
You remember have you seen the
time
part
you're
with
like-
the? Have you seen the whole thing? I'm not gonna say
yeah.
any spoilers here or anything, but like there's a funeral, and someone is speaking
yeah,
at the
yeah.
funeral about.
oh yeah.
Testicles in the face, and the person's mother is in the front, and I'm like, what? In a way that I'm
And then he
laughing.
starts singing.
I'm
Breaks out into song.
it's tiger-based country music, but it's real. We can't I was laughing my ass off.
The layers of insanity. Like whenever I like talk to someone who's earlier, who's at like the end of episode 1 or halfway through episode 2, and they're like, "This show's fucking crazy," and I'm like, "Oh, you
Sir.
have not seen anything."
Because that's that's what I mean. Like every time you see something crazy and super fucked up, you're like, oh, that's the big thing. And then like 15 minutes later, it's like, no, that was nothing.
Yeah,
that was
that's-
absolutely nothing compared to what you're about to see.
You're not even gonna remember this.
Fuck.
Oh man, we should almost do a spoiler cast of that fucking weird docuseries, because like you say,
Gladly do it. I've watched the whole thing twice.
something episode 2 opens on a horrible like accident. Do you remember?
Mhm.
And I remember that happening, and me that like exactly you say being like, oh, that's the thing. Wow, that's fucking crazy.
Yep.
And then, like, by the end of that series, you don't even remember who that person is. You're like, what the, what even,
craziest
who cares
thing,
about all
like I
that
said
shit?
this to Brando too, is that like this isn't really a spoiler at all, but like at the end of that, you look back on it and go, like I had this moment of realization where I'm like, holy fuck, the dude who everyone thinks was the inspiration for Scarface was the most level-headed dude in this entire thing. Like that's fucking crazy.
That show, it's something else. Something else.
It's outstanding. Good characters. It's got a little bit of everything for you. Country music. It's I can't recommend it enough.
The the some of the country music. You just go watch that show. I cannot talk about it without like spoiling it, but you should go watch that show. It is, and it might take. It took me until like episode 2 to kind of get into it because I'm like, oh yeah, okay, this is just kind of like I thought it was garbage reality television, which it kind of is, but it's also like
there is a
it's
like
real life.
I remember finishing episode 1 and being like, oh, maybe I'll just call it quits for the day there. And then I was like, I got time. I might as well squeeze in one more episode. And then when I finished 2, I was like, oh, I'll finish all 7 of these tonight.
Yeah, I was totally the same way. Where like, and it's part of. I think it's partly like the way they film it, where because they were shooting a documentary about a different, well, similar but different thing. So they have all the footage from both sides of the conflict, which makes it seem
So
fake.
fucked.
When you're watching it at first, you're like, well, this is obviously fake. They're doing interviews with the people who we like are alleged to have been tried to murder or whatever. And then you kind of learn that how the show was made. And you're like, oh no, this is wow.
I read a thing today, and I still don't know if it was real or not, but supposedly there's a actual like drama TV show being made about this whole thing.
I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like I've got my. By the end of that show, I'm good.
I kind of feel the same way. Where
It was
I'm
a good
like,
ride.
Yeah, I enjoyed that ride. I think I'm ready to just let it be until whatever the next development is. But yeah, fuck it, man. It's all I've been doing all week is just quoting it, and Brando and I'll just randomly yell "bitch" at each other in the hallway and fucking
You
Carol
you bitch!
fucking Baskin, you bitch. It's outstanding.
It's good stuff. Yeah, it's very good stuff.
Did you see the Tiger King Lion King parody trailer?
No, but I would love to.
Coming your way.
Okay.
That's gonna change your life.
Oh, great. I'll.
It is incredible. It is the best piece of content I've seen coming out of this show.
We.
The meme game is strong as well. I'm a big fan of the memes.
That's good.
that are
Yes.
coming out of all of this.
Here in the year of memes, it's good to have a little more
Exactly.
ammo for the.
The timing was just wonderful.
The world needed
Is
the
that-
Tiger King.
Is that the because you guys told me that there's one video I needed to watch
Yes.
after watching the show? Is it
Yes.
like okay, I've seen that like 8 times now.
Oh,
But you haven't
Is that
yet.
my fault?
You haven't yet seen the show. Oh no, you're.
Why do you watch a
Why would you
multiple
watch it?
minute video about something that you haven't seen yet?
I don't know.
'Cause that's not going to be funny. It's not going to be funny
that
when you
is
haven't seen
your
the
fault.
show.
What do you mean it's not your fault?
One sec here.
You
I gotta
didn't have
prepare.
Facebook
I gotta.
anymore,
I
do you?
gotta. I gotta prepare my defense.
He's opening his briefcase of the snaps, shuffling some papers.
Documents.
Just 1 minute here, Your Honor.
I gotta call some people.
I felt well. What do you
I
get?
don't know why I watched it. I just fucking was bored, so I sat there and I was just like, "Oh, maybe this will make me want to watch Tiger King."
You're the
That's actually my
worst.
answer to that. Is that
You're
maybe
the
this will make me
worst.
want to watch that show?
I kind of. I kind of. See, now I think it's probably turned you off. Like you've watched the joke, you've seen the punchline, but you don't know the setup.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
That
ruined
sucks.
it.
That was the thing I was most excited. I was more excited to show you that video than I was for you to actually watch the show.
oh,
I'm also
Alright.
worried. I'm worried for you that you've ruined it.
I'm busy watching Dragon Ball. I don't got time for.
Fair enough. Hey,
Yeah,
here,
one
fucking.
episode of Dragon
That
Ball
is
in the
good.
last
Here,
7
brother.
days.
No,
Really
it's
busy. Watching absolute garbage.
man's busy. All right, man's got important shit business things to get done.
I should have stayed in the
Hell of a
bathroom.
show.
He's watching for the podcast. Okay. I played.
Do a spoiler cast on Tiger King, and he could be watching that for the fucking
we should do a spoiler
Okay, well,
cast
we
instead.
three will do the Tiger King, and then me and Andy and Yeats can
No,
do the other
no,
one.
you need 4 bodies. Sorry.
Tiger King Kings.
Okay, well then, Warren, I'm gonna need you to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I was gonna say that you gotta watch Dragon Ball
No,
Z.
you've already got 4 bodies for Dragon Ball Z.
Who else has seen Dragon Ball Z?
Oliver's a
I don't know,
poser.
one of the other
Don't
fucking
count
nerds love
Oliver. No, I think it's just me and Brando.
I thought Kev was into it. Kev's not into it?
No, sir.
Good man. Good man.
I played that.
On that.
I played that Control DLC. The Foundation DLC. It's
Okay, so before you get into it, and this is gonna suck because you're probably, I really hope this review is gonna.
9 out of
7 out of 5.
yeah. That's
7
fun.
out of-
I hate it.
That's the review I want.
It's the worst in summary. 7.5 out of 10.
I bought this on the Xbox, and not knowing about this timed exclusive, and boy was I sad
I didn't know that also.
that I wasn't gonna get. Yeah, I had no idea.
It's only on
Like
PC and
advertising for
PS4
it
until
or-
June apparently.
no,
June. It's April.
That's terrible.
That's terrible.
Day one, I wanted to play that.
It's pretty good. You should want to play it. It's yeah, I don't like it. It's just kind of a little more of the main game. It's exactly what you want. It's like another kind of main area of the house. It is a little. They do not answer any questions if that's what you were worried about. They raise a lot of questions where by the end of that DLC you're like, well, you kind of leave it with more questions than you went going in. And it you know, it has a couple new objects of power. It has a few, just like in the main game, where you know, like some of the objects had like the the anchor like pulled you into its own little weird. Like there's a few unique encounters around some of the objects in a way that's kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Okay, I'm gonna hit you with some questions.
do it.
First of all, do you get any new abilities?
Yes, kind of. You get one for the DLC, but you don't like level it up like you do the other ones.
Right, it's just something new that you can do.
Yeah, it's like you can now open blue doors, basically. It's like it's a key, almost.
Is it fair to call this a story-based DLC? It's not like the last one where it's like a whatever that
Combat,
that was, where you just
yeah,
go,
expeditions.
just a combat arena, basically.
It's definitely story-based.
Okay.
It's more of those same kind of combat arenas. There are a couple really hard parts that are super frustrating, just like the main game, but it's like it's a lot more. It's the same enemies and everything you fought.
Does it take place in the same areas that we've already been? Is it just like a different
Ye-
mission, like different order of missions? Different order
Sort
of spots you go?
You
Okay. If that's a spoiler, don't tell me.
Well, it's called the Foundation, and you've been to the Foundation in the main game, so you do spend a bit of time down there.
So I guess what I meant is it's not taking you to this separate area. Like you can go between the areas from the main game and this DLC content.
I think it's sectioned off because you have to go to the hot room or the hotline chamber. I think it's sectioned off, yeah, because you go to the hotline and then I think you get kind of teleported, like you get basically stuck to a control point, and then you can fast travel back there.
Gotcha.
But you will see some familiar. You'll go through parts of the house that you recognize. You're like, oh shit, I remember this.
Again, use caution with spoilers. Are you going with like characters we know? Are there other people going with you?
Yeah. There's some main game cast that you recognize.
Excellent. How's the music?
It's good. I've heard people say, and I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I've heard people be like, "Wow, the song is better than the main game," and I know what they're referring to. Those people are fucking crazy because like the Ashtray Maze is such a fucking production that nothing will ever live up to
the
it.
Thing people are comparing to the
Yeah.
and it does not compare.
No, it's different. It's very different. It's very, very different. But there's some good musical bits. Absolutely.
You said it doesn't answer any questions.
I can't think of a single question that it answered. No.
Which is fine. I don't know that I needed a bunch of questions answered. Does it like at least explore an interesting space in that world where I'll want to theorize with you?
Oh yeah, 100%. By the end of that game, you like I was kind of mad of like because they basically like set up like I guess you'll need to see what happens in the next expansion. You're like, you motherfuckers. How dare you? Leave it on a real
I think that's
real
that's all my
cliffhanger
questions.
in a way. Yeah,
Is it free?
It is not free. No, it's part of the season pass. I don't know if you can get them piecemeal. Let's look here.
Which makes me wonder if I even have the. I must have the season pass because I got the foundation. Where are the
Expedition, yeah.
Is the jukebox one? Was that free?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Because I had the jukebox one, and I definitely didn't buy any season pass.
I wonder if I
Let's
don't have
see.
the season pass. I wonder if the season pass was exclusive to PlayStation.
Expeditions is free. Foundations and Alan Wake expansion. AWE, which I am assuming is Alan Wake expansion because they, in that main game, are basically like, oh, by the way, Alan Wake will show up. It is season pass. It looks like the season pass gets you Foundation and Alan Wake expansion. It's very hard to find like a clear-cut answer. I don't think you can buy Foundation or AWE piecemeal as of right now. 20. Oh, you can. Sorry. Apparently you can. $20 USD for expansion pack 1, the Foundation. There you go. I do not know how much. Expansion pack 2 is AWE. The Altered World Events sector of the house, AWE.
We've been there.
A little bit, yeah. It's where the first game kind of ends
Is that where
down
the
there.
big city was, where they
Yep.
recreated the town?
Yep, you find the city down there. You find a
Junkyard and
junkyard. You find the Bright Falls. The Alan Wake town is referenced down there. God, I love Control so much. Control's so good.
It sounds
Control
like
is
a
really
wrestling
dope.
promotion. AWE, AWE, AWE.
Sure. I mean, this is only 2 flipped letters off a real wrestling
That's-
promotion.
Do you think AEW might be like a extra planner?
to be it.
Oh fuck! It's Triple H from
has
another
to be it.
timeline, or Jericho from another timeline, or something.
Hmm.
20 apiece for these. I found the info. 20 apiece for these expansions, or $33.49 for the season pass. So you save about $10 or so. I'm looking at the art for the Alan Wake expansion. I gotta stop saying that. For AWE expansion 2, and it is literally the Alan Wake title art, but cut into AWE. Like, you can see him holding his flashlight in this picture. Fuck, I am so excited for whatever this expansion ends up being called.
Watch it have nothing to do with Alan Wake. Boy,
Oh,
would people be pissed?
I wouldn't be pissed, but I would be shocked.
Yeah.
It's not very long, also. Like, maybe like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. But yes, very good. And
That's pretty long for a DLC.
it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad at all. For $20,
Like a
it's
story
okay.
DLC. Yeah.
Eh. Any other games here, gentlemen, before we take our little break sheet?
No, sir.
Andy's been muting himself because he's been a little bit of a mic noise, I know. We'll assume he says no.
Oh,
Oh.
like I don't have to turn a crank and like hit a bunch of switches to unmute.
Well, I don't know. Maybe I
No.
thought you had to like run downstairs and put more coal on the boiler, you know? All those little steam handles. Let the pressure out.
Fucking guy.
All right, well, we'll see.
Put 2 keys more than an arm's length apart
That's
at
right.
the same time and turn them.
Yeah, I gotta get one of the neighbors to come over here, and she's gotta get her
Unmute in
walker
3,
and fucking
2.
move over her fucking
Key turn.
the key at the same time as me, so I could fucking unmute my mic, and by then we're all done peeing.
All right, well, we're going to go take a quick break here. Use our fill our drinks, use the restroom, whatever we need to do, and we'll see you on the other side of this musical break. You boys want to talk about some news?
Better do.
And the tiger saw a man.
Stop it right now. Stop it. Those are all real songs. Those are real albums that are out there. And I
Not sung
saw
by him.
tigers. Are they not sung by him? He only does the video?
Okay, did you actually think you heard his voice and then you heard the man singing and you thought it was him?
Well, listen, as a professional audio producer,
You
yes.
thought You thought that
Produced
this
the hell
guy
out of
right
it.
here
Yes,
was
yes.
singing, and I saw time.
Yes. Have you
Hey,
ever
there's
heard?
A lot of times, yeah. There's sometimes when people's actual
No,
voice
there's
does
not.
not match.
You hear beautiful, incredible singers speak, and they're like, "Well, I was just gonna fun. I love tigers."
Osborne every single time. He freaking
It
talks.
still sounds like Ozzy. It still sounds 100%
It's
like
still
Ozzy.
a singing voice though. He
Yeah,
still
but
has
you
a
can
singing voice and a talking voice.
But you still recognize the voice. The voice.
The
is
fact,
same.
and also you don't sing with an accent. People don't sing with Most people don't sing with an accent.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you look Keith Urban. He friggin' doesn't sound like the way he talks.
I believed it. Is it really not him? Is that like bona fide fact? Oh damn.
He didn't write it. He didn't record it. He didn't do anything. He doesn't even play the guitar. Look at that video.
Well, I knew he.
I saw a tiger. He's just sitting there strumming the same G chord.
I knew he didn't play. I figured for the video he was just, holding the guitar. But I totally thought he was singing. God, this shows what fake bullshit. Forget it. Tiger King, go with the. Fuck you. Tiger.
Oh, it's like that. That is the most Tiger King thing.
It's true. That's a
No,
microcosm.
he doesn't sing his own. You mean to tell me?
He can be a fake and a fraud in 100 different ways, but that man doesn't sing his own music videos.
It makes it 100% better. That scene where he's like, "This is what I do. I like to drive around and listen to myself sing," and it's not even him. It's not even you, sir.
That's so
And
fucked.
he's singing at that funeral, and it's not him. and
because he was
he's not
singing-
because he can't sing.
He was singing at the funeral, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, it doesn't sound great live,
Yeah,
but like a lot of bands
they
don't.
didn't get an instrumental version for him. He's just singing along with the words to the dude who can actually sing and kind of keeping his voice quiet enough so that nobody notices.
It's because I thought he was a. Oh wow, we need to do this spoiler cast. I have I feel like I just learned something about the source material that I appreciate it way more now.
It's good stuff.
Wow,
Good man.
that was a much needed. I feel like that might have been the biggest lull of 2020 so far.
There's also I should find it so that I don't screw this up because fuck did I laugh when I saw it. Let me just pull it up here real quick. Marilyn Manson posted on his Instagram 3 days ago a screenshot from a message from January 16th, 2018 from one Joe Exotic that says, "Hey, thanks for the follow. I'm running for governor of Oklahoma and trying to speak for the real people for a change and get some people who help with addiction in this state that no one cares about. Would you endorse me? Not asking for money, just to use your name as an endorsement." And all I could think about was, holy fuck, Marilyn Manson and this dude would be the fucking greatest pair ever.
That would work.
Bucket.
All time.
VP Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, and Manson just put it up and said, "Nope, don't fuck with cats."
Oh
Good
goodness,
counterpoint.
goodness,
Cowards.
goodness.
What could have been?
I got some news stories here, gentlemen. Speaking of cowards, vintage video game heel here in the last, last year especially. Randy Pitchford of Gearbox. We're gonna be, I am gonna be kind of pulling the story live. This one slipped through the cracks, and I just caught it here for the podcast. Some developers over at Gearbox, the folks who made Borderlands 3, are claiming that they're getting stiffed on their bonuses, which is a little interesting, as 2K describes Borderlands as a billion-dollar global brand. Let's see here. I'm kind of paraphrasing the Kotaku story to you, as I say doing this live. This all comes out of Jason Schreier, who has kind of broken a lot of these sort of development stories over the last couple years.
Randy's greatest enemy.
I wonder. Actually, I'm trying to think. Did Jason Schreier, did Jay Schreier break the underage pornography in the medieval times? Was that?
Who else breaks stuff?
That's a good question. And remember, Randy's defense to that was not that, no, it didn't happen. No, she was not underage. His defense was like, isn't female ejaculation weird?
Yeah.
And then those
Some
charges
of
just
it
got
did.
dropped, and nobody ever spoke about that again. But here we are now.
Mhm.
She was a magician. She's a fucking magician.
Yeah. Fucking magician.
The fucking magician, that's right. So employees at the studios will get small bonus checks here for Borderlands 3. But nothing close to the tens or thousands, tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands that many had expected. I'm very quickly trying to parse this. I'm going to give you the Cole's notes here. So Gearbox, based in Texas, I'm actually just reading you a lot of this story, offers its employees below average salaries for the video game industry, but they kind of make it up in the royalties. So they, let's see here, offer a 60-40 split, 60% going back into the company, 40% distributed to the employees in the form of a quarterly bonus once the game has recouped costs. Which you remember last week's podcast, I don't know what time it is, podcast from a couple weeks ago. Epic had that new publishing deal where the split was going to be 50-50 after costs have been recouped. So just here's a, kind of another perspective on a publishing deal. Or in this case, a development deal, I guess. The system has been in place since Gearbox's inception, it says. And when the company has big hits, it can be lucrative. For example, Borderlands 2, the quote from the story here is that many Gearbox workers made enough money to buy houses, which is a fucking fat bonus.
That's a pretty big bonus.
Let's see here. So this was posted on Monday. It says, yesterday in a meeting, which would have been Tuesday, pardon me, it was posted on Wednesday. Yesterday would have been Tuesday. Gearbox Randy Pitchford told employees that Borderlands 3 bonus checks would be significantly lower than they had hoped. He said the game had been more expensive than expected. The company had grown significantly larger than it had been in the past, and that their sales projections had been off base. The game, so here's just a couple statements about Borderlands 3. We expect lifetime unit sales to be a record for the series, CEO of 2K said. And it did sell extremely well. But the long and the short of it here is that yes, a lot of these checks, bonuses that a lot of these developers, budget their budget, I guess, on, plan to pay mortgages and rents and things and put roofs over their families' heads and food on their tables. Those checks aren't coming. And there's a beautiful...
Couldn't be a better time to not be getting your check.
No fucking shit. And there's a beautiful quote here that I'm looking for from Mr. Pitchford. Let me just go ahead and Control F the word quit. Pitchford also told Gearbox developers if they weren't happy with the royalty system, they were welcome to quit. After having made Borderlands 3 this billion-dollar franchise, as they describe it.
Is there a bigger piece of shit
than Randy Pitchford? Then, again, alleged. This is only alleged, although he himself did not deny it. Alleged possessor of underage child pornography. Invite you to his mansion, Wade Calendar, and who knows what that whole lawsuit thing was about, because that seemed pretty personal. But invite you over to the magician sex parties, Randy Pitchford. Weird.
Yeah, so that sounds okay.
A huge piece of shit? Weird.
Everyone's over 18. The Randy Pitchford makes Dude Huge seem just fucking fine, in my book.
Okay, here we go. Before Gearbox could receive any royalties from the publisher 2K, Borderlands 3 would not have to recoup just the game's entire budget, around $95 million, but also the budget for all downloadable content, for some closer to $140 million, thanks to a contract the two companies had signed. So, Gearbox developers make the game. At some point, Randy and 2K sign this contract, even though the game has already been developed, that now we need to recoup costs for the game and the DLC. People who made the game, very understandably, upset about that.
Yep, I sure as shit would be.
I mean,
Yeah.
Is there anything illegal going on? I don't know. I would assume not, because rarely is someone dumb enough to do something openly illegal like this.
Right.
But I don't know.
No, I'm sure the system is in place to make sure what Randy Pitchford doing is perfectly legal.
Yeah. And just like, given the times, given the pandemic and, America sending out $1,200 to its citizens and Canada's financial aid getting going, is supposed to be this week or sometime, and like the impetus being on people need to pay rent. The economy is frozen right now. People need to pay rent. Hey, you guys aren't getting your bonuses, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Or you are getting your bonuses, or you might get them eventually if we recoup our costs, but they're going to be $55 million less than you thought they were. Which is fucking crazy.
It's fucked.
Absolutely fucking crazy.
I mean,
You fucking
Mean
suck,
is what it
Randy.
is.
Yeah,
That's
you
You're a
do.
mean man.
You
You're
do
a mean
suck.
man. Boban.
Don't-
Rich people suck right now.
Don't play Borderlands. Don't play Randy Pitchford's Borderlands 3. Don't buy Borderlands 3. I mean, I know it's a little bit late. I was out here banging that drum when the whole child porn thing was the story of the month, but here we are now.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why
Times.
people have to be such dickheads.
Money. You should go look up this story. You at home should go look up the story for yourself here. Again, just give you the very, very quick Cole's notes. Did not have time to research the story like I do some of the other ones. So that is just a very cursory glance. And I honestly might have got some of that wrong. Just between you and I fuck things up sometimes.
We never claim to be factual.
Well, I am quoting...
Only claim to hate Randy.
Literally everything you heard from me about this story was me quoting Jason Schreier from his Kotaku story. So maybe just go read his Kotaku story. It's very good. It's very well written. And he is a fucking crack reporter in this industry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's on the crack beat.
Yeah, no shit. Let's see. Let's get all the bad
I
news.
bet you at some point, a reporter who's on the crack beat is going to stumble upon a Randy Pitchford story.
This new strain, there's a new Heisenberg for crack out there, and they traced it. They finally found who it was. He's just known as the
My
magician.
God, it's Randy.
You can't.
He keeps it all in the medieval times tower.
Mother of God.
Randy Exotic.
Last of Us 2. We'll get the sad news out of the way here. Last of Us 2 delayed indefinitely.
That sucks.
Yeah, remember,
That sucks. Like, I totally
indefinitely
understand.
does not mean forever. A lot of people think it definitely means forever. It just means we don't know how long. I don't know. It's a delay. It's delayed until further notice.
Could come out tomorrow. I mean, the day
Well,
after it was originally
Yeah,
going to come
probably not until May 29th or whatever it was supposed to be.
out. This, first of all, I totally understand. It kind of surprised it didn't happen already. The only thing that I thought might save this game is that it seemed like it was pretty well done.
Yeah.
But I think even just the economics of putting it out there probably aren't in the best interests of Naughty Dog right now, because
And that's exactly what they
people
quote.
probably-
Naughty
yeah, like, I
Naughty
feel a lot of
Dog
people
says
just
like,
can't buy it.
yeah, that's exactly it. They say like, hey, the game is basically done. And what's the way they put it? We want to make sure everyone gets to play The Last of Us Part 2 around the same time, ensuring that we're doing everything possible to serve the best experience for everyone. Let's be honest, they don't give a fuck if people play it at the same time or not, but obviously your initial sales push is much stronger if everyone can buy it all at the same time.
Right. It looks a lot better on a business report to write this off as a 0 because of the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And then when we put the hard copies and digital copies on the shelf, look how well they did.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
it.
it does be like, oh, our first week we only had the digital and it looks like this, and then the other ones will come out when we can get them on shelves. So, like everything, big business, it comes down to money. But I really, really wanted this to be one of the games that gets me through this fucking nightmare. So
You think you want to play
disappointing.
the Last of Us game in the mid? You want to play the nightmare in the midst of the nightmare?
So I have two things for that. First of all, The Last of Us, it totally is, but for some reason it does not sit in my head as a pandemic game.
It's like it's a post-pandemic game. We just don't see the
Right.
pandemic.
Like, I feel like they always came off to me more. It came off to me more as a zombie game, than a. Maybe it's just because it feels like you never saw a lot of people get sick
Yeah,
in the game. Like,
They-
it was just
they already were.
Post.
They already were clickers.
right. The second thing I will say is I'm a very watch pandemic stuff and consume pandemic stuff during a pandemic kind of guy. I watched Contagion as soon as this all started.
Netflix tells me it has Matt Damon in it. Apparently,
Netflix is not wrong.
stop putting it on my gut. It's the thing. It's the first thing that shows up when you open Netflix. It's like Contagion. You're like, yeah, I know Netflix.
Blame the people.
I'm living it.
It's
It was like
trending.
number one in Canada until
Yeah.
Tiger King came out.
Canadians,
Thrown her.
we're on blast. Stop watching Contagion until it gets off that Netflix top 10.
Yeah, Pandemic is also
More Tiger
on
King.
Netflix somewhere. Yes, more Tiger King, less Contagion.
Keep it up there. Number one in our hearts. Number one on the list.
Yeah, no, I would have had no problem playing. I would have loved to play Last of Us 2 when I had literally nowhere else to go and could like just beat it in like 3 8-hour sittings.
Yeah. Let's see here.
But alas,
yeah. Well, they say the game is done, so it literally sounds like they're maybe having issues getting discs out. Which there was a similar thing with Final Fantasy VII Remake, where Square Enix sent it out to the territories they thought were going to be difficult getting the games to. Like Australia, for example, is playing Final Fantasy VII Remake right now. I'll link this into another story. Do not watch the Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer if you get a chance. I have not looked up the details because obviously I don't want to know, but apparently there are differences from the original game, and some of those twists in a true, I don't even want to say it, in a Jedi Fallen Order trailer situation, apparently a lot of those twists are spoiled in that trailer.
God, that's mean. Stop doing that.
Stop doing that.
this to us.
Stop it.
Fuck.
I mean, this one makes a
People
little
are out there
more
saying,
sense,
like,
I guess, of
this game came out in fucking 90, whenever it was.
7, 6?
But at the same point, it seems like there's a lot of like new stuff in this game.
Yeah, difference. They again, I did not read the story to find the details, but they say that there are new twists, some small and some significant, where like some of the whispers I've heard are maybe Sephiroth won't be in this game, which would be, from what I know about Final Fantasy VII, which is not very much, would be fucking crazy. Crazy, Andrew.
He's got a long sword.
It goes through the moon, I think, doesn't it?
I think you're thinking of, well, I'd never played that game. I was going to say maybe you're thinking of Asura's Wrath, but...
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely thinking of, Asura's Wrath.
That fucking sword go through any planet.
Yeah, that sword goes through the moon into the... That sword goes through the moon, through Asura, through the earth. In Asura's Wrath.
Earth, right?
Yep.
Right through the core. That's fucked. He doesn't seem two-faced.
That's a good, for all the reasons I love Dragon Ball. Asura's Wrath, pretty good. Here's some happy news. Buckle up, Andrew. Nintendo is, the reportedly, we can almost take that out, I think. Nintendo planning to announce new Paper Mario and other remasters for the series' 35th anniversary, which is this year.
This might be what we need right now.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I can't. I'm very torn by all this because I'm trying not to get overexcited. Because when they're saying they're going to remake a bunch of Mario games, I want them to make all the ones I like, and then B, also just want them to remake all the Mario games. And then also too with that Paper Mario, I've been so disappointed with the last few Paper Marios that I really want them to knock this one out of the park, because ever since the 1,000-Year Door, I've just been waiting for a good Paper Mario like that. That fucking Paper Mario game was so good. I loved it so much. I just want that experience again.
Would you?
I agree with Andy. I loved the first 2 Paper Marios and did not give a fuck about 3. And I think there was a 4 also.
Wasn't
the 3? And see, I actually didn't mind that third one, the side-scrolling. I was okay with that. I enjoyed it. The DS one, whatever the hell it was called, Sticker Star, Planet Bullshit. My God, did that game suck. I was actually angry with how bad that game was. I think I lent it to you, Matt, didn't I?
Stickers? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever played Sticker Star.
You might still have that game. You might still have it.
What console? 3DS?
It was 3DS, I think, or it was DS or something. I feel like I lent you that game.
I'll take a look. Does the 3DS play DS games? Because I only have a 3DS.
You don't even bother looking. It is fine. I don't need to know where that game is. And then when they came out with Color Splash, it was essentially that same kind of I don't even know, because I just read a couple lines of what the concept of that game was, and I was like, this is just not Paper Mario. Please just make me Paper Mario like it was back in the day, or just like at least with that same like make it an RPG. Like they took the RPG out of it and it just sucked.
Would you say the series needs a return to its roots?
Yes, it needs to return to its roots. Like, I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, oh, I need video games to be the same as it was back in the day. Like, I don't want to be one of those people that doesn't want things to change, because I want things to change. But, like, don't fucking do something in a way that's completely different, and then when people tell you that way sucks, continue to do it that way. It doesn't make sense.
I think the biggest problem with, like, our because we have the same stance on the Paper Mario games. Me hating 3 far more than you do, but both of us agreeing that was kind of the turning point. And it wasn't so much that there was change to Paper Mario 3. It was more that Paper Mario 1 and 2 were changed. They were doing something totally different, and then they went back and made them the same as every other Mario game.
I've only
I
ever
haven't played any of these Mario games, so I'm, I guess, in that.
You never played
Like,
Paper Mario?
Cool. I guess I could play these if they're not $80 each.
They should
Well,
and
I
maybe
don't
they
think they're
have.
remaking any of the Paper Marios.
No, not as far as we know. I was
They
gonna
could remake that first one. That I would be completely down for that.
They've-
But it still
they've
plays
put
pretty
out-
good though for
They've
N64.
put out the games that they're putting out in this thing, haven't they?
No,
Well,
there's just been
I know
people
I know it's not official, but isn't there like the article that is saying that they're planning to do this actually had the list of games?
Yeah,
Didn't it?
Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy are the remasters. 3D World getting a deluxe release with new content is how they phrase it. And is 3D World like really, really good? Is it one of the super dope ones?
3D World
Yes.
is very
3D
good.
Okay.
World's really good.
I'm just saying.
And, as somebody who loved like Galaxy, I thought that was fantastic. The problem I had with Galaxy was that I felt like it wasn't hard enough at times. Where 3D World actually kind of gives you that kind of old school platforming Mario that is genuinely difficult at times, which is really cool. So I'm pumped to get that one again. And underrated because even you not knowing much about it, like there was not enough people that played 3D World.
What's going on in the Giggle Factory here?
Warren's losing.
I'm not even laughing. I was.
Was that
Down the Giggle
who?
Factory.
Was that you, Warren? That was not. I heard the snort. And okay, okay, good, good, because that was a good sell after.
I thought I was muted. My bad.
The first, I thought I heard one from Matt too earlier, but I was like, is something going on?
Oh, you might have. I eventually had to mute my mic. We're just being. You can do a lot of weird shit when you're at home. It turns out.
Yeah.
That first Paper Mario game, Warren. I think. Is there any way to play it on Switch? Is there ever been a?
No.
You
No,
can play it on
it's Wii
Wii.
U.
Is where it was. No, not even Wii U. It was Wii. I think you got to get it on.
And they don't have. There's
I thought the Wii U put the N64 stuff on.
there's
It
and
did.
none of that
I
ever
think they
came
picked Mario,
to.
though.
They have a Wii store on the Wii U thing.
Right.
You could go buy shit.
That first Paper Mario game is very good. I've played it in the last, I don't know, few years. It's good. It's got wrestling
Yeah.
Koopas.
Two's the exact same.
Or is
Yeah.
2 the one with the wrestling Koopas? Maybe 2 is the one with the wrestling.
Yeah, two's the one with the whole wrestling event. And
It
then,
just-
yeah, those are fucking bangers.
They just like they took such a spin on it, like the story and the worlds, and it felt so unique from being in like the Mario universe. It felt like something completely different, and it was just phenomenal. They're just so good, and then they fell off the wagon with them. They had this special thing, and they just tried to change it in ways that just didn't work. Those games should follow their audience, whereas it felt like they tried to bring in a new, younger audience with the new ones that they made.
Yeah.
Bullshit kids.
The Super Mario 64, they're going. These are the remasters. Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy. I wonder what because Galaxy has a lot of like motion control stuff in it, which I would assume. I guess the Joy-Cons do have motion control. I would assume they have to remake these games to some level to make them. Like, are you gonna boot up Super Mario
I don't know how much
64 and then move the right stick and have the camera go boop 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 and move on its like little eighths that it moves, or?
They would
Yeah,
have to
like
remake
how-
that so it moves like it does in the modern age.
But can you even?
You would
Does that break Super
like,
Mario
at that point, it feels
64?
like at that point it seems like you're closer to rebuilding the game from the ground up. Like in a way that they did with that DS version where you could like play as Princess Peach and Yoshi and a bunch of weird. You guys remember that? It was like Mario
no, I
64.
I played
like,
that
you could-
game, and it was
Yeah.
Luigi, it was Yoshi, and it was Wario.
Oh, I thought it was Peach. Yeah, that makes
Well, no,
more
you're
sense.
saving Peach in the game.
Yeah, you can't play as Peach. She's
Well,
like the first
I don't
character you
know.
see. Dear Mario,
Shit
So
together,
you couldn't
Brando.
play. What the fuck is Wario doing saving Peach?
I've baked a cake for
On top
you.
of the castle.
Come and
It's
eat your
a good
cake.
question. That's
Spoilers.
cake. It's really what it is. Man, hungry.
I remember the way she signs off that letter in the English Super Mario 64 of being super high. Peach!
That game, Mario 64 specifically, is so deeply ingrained in my brain in a way that not a lot of games are.
Oh yeah, right there with you.
In a way that like I would love to see it and go in and like run around for like an hour and be like, oh fuck, they really did this. Look at this, he fucking did that, and then probably put it down and not touch it again.
I'd play that.
I kind of want to have it.
I would totally do a. That game's not real long. It doesn't take all that long to get 7 stars per level and the 100 coins.
I could
And
play that game through again.
yeah, I'd 100% that game, no problem.
That thing.
I feel
Yeah.
like to 100% it took a long time.
No, it was only 7 stars per level, and there were only like eight
64
levels.
is what we're talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah, 64.
maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah. I've never beat that game.
It's one of my like you say, it's so deeply ingrained in my mind that like I can just summon up the menu screen of like that Bob-omb world and like the wah 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 that it would always do.
Okie dokie.
Oh, let's go.
I just want to fuck with his face again, pull on his nose and shit.
Do 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 do. Even all the music.
Yeah.
Catching that fucking rabbit downstairs.
Do-do-do-do.
Oh, I think we're all the same age, so it makes a lot of sense.
What
It's
if the
Super Mario
rabbit
64.
from that is the same rabbit as the Animal Crossing rabbit?
Okay, all right,
yeah,
that's enough.
Yeah, it's just rabbits in
Moving
general in games.
on.
He's yellow.
You remember racing that penguin down the slide?
Oh yeah.
Ah, you gotta fucking. You know what you do?
It's
You
child off the
fucking
edge.
cheat.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta cheat. Do you remember the like 300 different rumors about all the fake stars that were around that penguin? Of like if you throw the penguin's kid off the edge and then you go get all the 6 coins and then you talk to them, they're like, oh my kid died, and they give you a black star.
You gotta go kill the kid and then tell the dad, and he'll get back together with the mom.
All these like fake bullshit stories. So many of them. I remember so many of them.
I remember thinking the Yoshi on the castle was a fucking outright lie.
That it was true. Yeah, it was real.
Yeah.
What else do I got here for news? Apex. That's a video game that someone had on their list and then we never ended up talking about. Fatal.
What?
Who
What's
called
new
it?
about it?
Who called it Apex Legends?
The proper title.
That's
What's
what
new?
it's called.
What's new about it, Andrew? I'm so glad you asked. They're adding Kings Canyon and duos permanently. They are coming back April the 7th, and they are in the game to stay.
Does it detail, like, is it Kings Canyon as a
Kings
three-person
Canyon,
map, and
the
you can
map.
just pick whichever one you want?
I believe
yeah,
that is
yeah.
correct. Yeah, play.
Okay.
Play.
I read it.
Can
I
you
read
do-
it as rotation, is what I read it as.
okay.
Let's double check here.
And then duos would be on whichever one is in rotation, or could you do duos on both if they're both in, I wonder? Interesting to see how they do that. Because they've always had modes attached to maps up until now. You've never been able to be like, I'd like to play this map on this mode.
Well, and the thing I'm most curious about is like challenges moving forward, because they have all those location-based challenges on the new map. That if it's going to be some sort of a rotation, you could ideally play 10 games and be all in Kings Canyon and not be able to even try and do one of your, unless you have the option to pick which map you're playing on, right?
Yeah, I wonder if maybe the thing they do at that point, if there is a rotation, is maybe just kind of 1-to-1 each area with another area, and
Yeah,
change
get
the
it on
challenges
this
to
or this.
drop at Airbase or
Yeah.
Lava City or whatever. Maybe the easiest way to do it.
The
'Cause
announcement.
those are the only things that you need to be at a location. Every other thing is performance based or gun based, where you can get them on either map.
The announcement says this event, the Bloodhound event, which is April 7 to 21.
Catchy name.
It's called. I don't see the name here. The Old Ways is the name of the event. Starts April the 7th. It says features the permanent addition of duos mode and adds Kings Canyon to the map rotation.
Oh yeah, okay.
So someone who doesn't play Apex, I would assume you can kind of interpret.
That brings
What
the
that means.
rotation up to 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it won't always be King. It's not like you're picking between Kings Canyon or
Yeah,
whatever the
maybe
new
they'll
map
do
is.
Week on or week off.
Okay.
or,
I see.
Also, I'd like to point out that I had a very good laugh when you sent out the podcast notes this morning, because you had, and where it says also a Bloodhound event, you had like, I think, Blood Fang or something weird instead of Bloodhound, and it made me laugh. Because whatever you had was significantly better than Bloodhound.
Really? I know she's called Bloodhound. I'm gonna go. I
go
don't
look
think
into
I.
this.
I don't think I can. I can.
I changed it to Hound. I
wonder what I put. I knew I was as I was typing it out because I don't.
Bloodstorm.
Are they called Bloodhound in the game, or are they like blood? It's not English, is it? It's like
No, it's Bloodhound.
German.
His
His
name
name
is-
is Bloodhound.
Oh, I thought it was
Yeah,
like
his name
BLUD.
Their name.
There,
Yeah,
I don't know
name
their
is
name.
Bloodhound.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like in text, it is Bloodhound on like the on the
But they
screens
say
and
it as,
stuff.
like,
but he says
Blood-
Bloodhound. Or
Yeah. I knew it was Bloodhound.
He's Norwegian.
If I fucked it up, well, fuck you, Warren. How about that? You ever think about that?
No, I quite enjoyed it.
Let me ask you this, Warren.
Funnier than the real name.
Let me ask you this. Shut up.
Tell me about the Darkest Dungeon.
Hey, it's getting multiplayer. I don't play Darkest Dungeon at all. I know this is a big game for Kev. Has any of us, other than Kevin, played
No.
I
Darkest?
don't even know what it is.
Okay. Well, let's say it's I believe it's on the Switch and PC. It's a kind of a turn-based, I guess a tactics game would be. I'm trying to think of other games that it's like and can't really. It's kind of like old Final Fantasies in a way. Apparently, it's getting multiplayer, part of their new expansion pass, which is called Butcher Circus, coming in May. I don't really know too much about that. We'll ask Kevin when we have Kevin on at some point here. And the Modern Warfare 2 Remastered campaign that we talked about 2 weeks ago when it got leaked and talked about again a week ago. And we're like, they found the art. We're pretty sure this thing's real. Is out now if you have a PlayStation 4. Otherwise, you can pre-order it. Or they don't say that it's a pre. It's just like, oh, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered campaign is out. But if you buy it on PC or Xbox, you are actually pre-ordering it. It'll be out April the 30th. It looks good. I don't know. I watched the trailer and like the faces on people look real fucking good.
Opening 10 seconds of the first level, which is that you're on the I think it's called Cliffhanger or something. It's the snow one where you're on the side of the wall and you got to grapple.
Such a good level.
Dude, it
Such a
looks
good fucking level.
insane.
Snowmobiles.
And what did I tell you, Brando? I read a thing that said on the Xbox One S or whatever the most recent Xbox One is that it runs at like 60 frames per second or something.
Yep.
It would be fucked if it didn't run at 60 frames a second. It's such an old game.
It seems like it should run at 60 on my Xbox.
I would be so mad if it doesn't. It better run. Wait, hang on. Is there the stories that it runs at 60 on the One
No,
X?
I'm sure it was higher than that then. I don't know frames per second stuff.
Yeah, it must be 60. That would be crazy if it weren't. Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Modern Warfare 2 campaign. I don't know if it's the best. It's one of my personal favorite first-person shooter campaigns for a whole lot of reasons around the game, time of life, and all that. But for $20, I would probably be 30 here in Canada. I'll fucking play that 4.5-hour campaign again. Hell yeah.
The story is that it runs at 4K 60 frames per second on Xbox
Okay,
One
there you
X.
go. That's pretty good. That's a thing where I would be kind of, if it didn't run, because this came out in 2011. If it didn't run at 4K 60, you're like, oh, okay.
It looks incredible though. Like,
Yeah.
just seeing Soap on the side of that mountain and like he's smoking that cigar and you see the smoke coming and like
The people look like people.
it's great.
It looks
I really wish
really
I
good.
could play it, but fuck me for not owning a PlayStation.
See, on April the 30th, the double fuck you, Control and the Modern Warfare. You really took the
Yeah, I'm not worried about
exclusivity
Control.
bump. Oh, I didn't. Not your bread and butter, eh?
If I have to pay for it, no. If
Oh
it's
yeah,
free, I'll
no,
play it.
it's not free. It's definitely not free.
Yeah.
And I believe that's all the news.
Also,
Did I get all this?
There's another rumor that suggests that they're also remastering Modern Warfare 3 and that that'll be out by the end of the year.
I don't remember that campaign at all, other than playing it and being like, well, this is not great.
The end of it.
I don't.
Yeah, I
through the
remember
glass,
going through
kind
the
of.
skylight. Yeah,
Yeah,
Oy.
but
that's kind of it too, though. I
I-
don't.
Literally, the only thing I remember from that campaign is being in a castle, like being inside a wall or something with, I think, Price, and like sliding. I don't know. I remember sliding down the inside of a wall or something.
the first two were
I
just so
remember
good.
the level.
And
I
Gas
feel like
in
it was like
Paris,
one of the
maybe.
first levels where you're in the favela. I think where you like meet the boys, and you all have your code names instead of like the names you're used to. It's like Ice Pick and Dynamite.
What? I don't remember any of that.
I don't think either of those names are right, but they were like code names very much instead of being the lieutenant this and corporal that.
I'm like
I'm
way
gonna watch-
Soap.
I'm gonna watch you guys play a bunch of that because I don't think I'm gonna buy it or play it myself, but I would love to kind of see that campaign again.
Yeah. I just did Modern Warfare 2 before Remastered came out, so I might sleep on it for a little bit, but time will come. I play through 2, every year or so. I'm really interested in what they're doing with the new Modern Warfare. It's like new Star Trek in a way. Like same but different. Same characters, different timeline, which is, man, I can't wait. This is confusing now. I can't wait for Modern Warfare 2. I can't wait for the second
The sequel to 2019's Modern Warfare.
So funny. We have to do it with Doom. We have to do it with God of War.
Yeah.
That is all the news I have.
Sequel to 2018's God of War.
Oh, I mean, was that 2018?
Yeah.
That wasn't 29?
No, 2019
Oh,
just
man.
happened.
The game. When was Detroit? Was that 2018 or 20?
That was 2018. 2019 was the year that things went pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
2018 was the year that they didn't.
Right. Okay. Podcast at TalkingReckless.com.
Fine. In 2018.
Specifically the game of the year.
Nothing was wrong with that list.
It's a perfect
That's
list.
hold up pretty well.
Perfect games on the perfect list.
I have a couple of late-breaking news stories. If
Hit
you
us with them.
Throw these in here. As you are well aware, as you all should be well aware, it is WrestleMania weekend. And
Is it?
during this podcast, I have downloaded WWE 2K20.
Is it free on? As predicted, it went free on Games with Gold.
Yep. And
That is funny that maybe never have less people been aware that it is WrestleMania.
It's
weekend.
tomorrow. It's Sunday.
No, it's both days. And item number 2 is that there's a new Satpod out apparently as of this very moment. So go check that out.
You can't hear it, but I play.
The joke.
Maybe you could hear it. Yeah, I put my headphones right up against the mic.
But
It's WrestleMania weekend? Holy crap.
Dude, it's on in like we are recording time.
Sunday.
We are 14 hours away from the start of WrestleMania.
yeah, she's coming.
The 2-night pop culture extravaganza will be hosted by 3-time Super Bowl champion Rob Gronkowski. Wow, I'm
He's
good.
going to announce that he's joining.
I'm good, man. For a second there, I almost thought I might check out some WrestleMania, but hosted by Gronk, I think I'm okay.
He's a good man.
They're not gonna have a crowd, are they?
Nope.
That's gonna be. Maybe I will have to watch. That's gonna be weird.
Yeah, historical.
It is going to be weird.
I don't really care about 2 matches, and there are 2 matches that are being filmed outside of the performance center, so everything else can fuck off.
2 matches that you care about, and they're doing 2 fucking days of WrestleMania this year, apparently. They don't always do 2 days, do they?
No.
That's
It's usually 7 hours, and this way you get 2 days of 4 hours.
Oh, okay. They're splitting it up. I guess there won't be any other wrestling in the city that weekend.
Yeah.
What a weird time
weekend,
that
right?
we live in. This weekend, yeah.
That crazy? Yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah. 14 hours
Yeah.
from now.
That's what I thought.
That's wild. That is holy smokes.
I think Warren said that someone else was wrong when I was saying that, and it confused me.
Sasha Banks has blue hair now in this poster I'm looking at.
She's got Snoop Dogg on her entrance music now, too.
Oh shit! You think Snoop?
Yes, y'all.
Snoop should walk her out.
Y'all. He's done that before.
He did that one year.
He's good. You tell me Snoop's gonna be on WrestleMania. I'll watch WrestleMania. Podcast.
confirm
Sorry, was that the only? Did you have any other news stories there? Any late breaking?
Those were the 2. Yeah.
Podcast. TalkingReckless.com is an email address. We had no emails. No emails this week. Been a bit of a quiet spell in the old podcast inbox. But if you have any thoughts, you write on in to podcast, TalkingReckless.com, or you can drop them on our subreddit, which I should also check. We're good. Or if you can figure out the voicemails thing in the Discord, more power to you. Leave us some voicemails. Good luck.
Yeah.
One person ever has figured that system out. It's very poorly designed. And I think that's all I got to say here. I'm trying to think. I guess you'll have heard it already. See, the problem with some of these things is we don't know we're doing things until like a day before, but we will have done a very special episode of Rolling Reckless on Sunday. Which if you're listening live, I guess you'll hear it right now. Hopefully the honey heist that Oliver is running, the Durage job, went well as my character, whose name I totally know, but I'm not ready to unveil live. I don't know. The game is in like a day. I gotta find it out. But I'm sure that went great. Thanks very much for listening. I can't think of anything else, but I always feel like I'm forgetting something. Still kind of acclimating to this from home. Figuring things out. I guess the only other thing I have to say is thank you very much to Brandon Lynch.
You betcha.
Andrew Captain.
Yes. Did you not think I was here?
No, I knew you were. I just was wondering like how long between the. I was trying to figure out how to lead you in so you would know to unmute or like the unmute was coming. I don't know.
Andrew Captain, is he here? No, he's peeing. He is not here right now.
And Warren Barris.
'Cause I saw Tiger. Now I understand. I saw Tiger. Tiger saw me.
And to you at home. Oh my goodness. Do you think we can Listen, I'm asking for a friend. What's the name of that song?
I saw Tiger.
Of course it fucking is. Oh my god.
Necessary question.
Everybody go watch Tiger King. Thank you very much to you at home for being here, for joining us. Unfortunately, the boys on the internet will not be able to get this one today, but this is just for us. We'll see you here next week. Stay home. Stay safe. Go watch this very fascinating documentary where I first heard this song.
You have to show the video, too. You can't play and not show the music video.
All right, if you're watching the video version of this on the Twitch, I got you. I got you. It's so fucking goddamn it. Wow, we're just gonna let this play us out. Thanks again, Brando, Andy, Warren, to you at home. I'm gonna end the call here, and we're just gonna let Joe Exotic take us into the evening. We'll see you here next week. It'll be the 314th episode of the Talking Reckless podcast. We'll see you then.
You bitch.
that bitch.
Give 'em a home, safe and warm. But the law wants to ban me. Can you tell me who's wrong? Every time they move, every time they breathe, I can feel their power. I can feel their peace. 'Cause I saw Tiger, now I understand. I saw Tiger, Tiger saw me. Well, I saw Tiger, now I understand. I saw Tiger, and the Tiger saw me. Time is a ticking, will soon be gone. So you better take a picture. What a sad, sad song. We'll call it Armageddon. Such a painful loss. When they kill all the tigers in the Holocaust. 'Cause I saw Tiger, now I understand. I saw Tiger, Tiger saw me. I saw Tiger, Tiger tiger saw man. Well, I saw a tiger. Now I understand. Well, I saw a tiger. Now I understand. I saw a tiger. And the tiger saw a man. I saw a tiger. And the tiger saw a man. Ooh, I saw a tiger. Do you understand? I saw a tiger. The tiger saw a man.